Hey everybody, I hope you enjoy today's show with Two Chicks Chattin with Kim Collins and Denise LaCarubba. They were a lot of laughs, were a lot of fun. They're a great duo. Check them out on Facebook Live. Denise did stick around for an extra hour or so, and it was really good, and I only got half of it for whatever reason. I'm not going to bore you with the details. But it's on there. I didn't want to lose it, and I didn't want to make it its own episode. So when it ends abruptly, that's the reason why. But at any rate, get your popcorn ready, because it's time for Two Chicks Chattin with me, George Noonan.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Can I please have your attention?
Right now, showtime. Are you ready? Are you ready for start time?
Let's find out. Ready, set, go.
Ladies and gentlemen, get your popcorn ready, sit back, relax, because it's about time for Chatting with George Noonan. Oh, yeah. Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. I'm here with Denise LaCarubba and Kim Collins of Two Chicks Chattin. And I just found out that they're the same, but they're different. Please elaborate, Kim.
Well, we said we were kind of like Laverne and Shirley, but then we agreed that we were both Laverne. But then you said, and a little Shirley.
A little bit of Shirley, yeah. I'm a brunette. I'm not.
In what ways, though?
Well, and then who were we saying that to, and they had never heard of Laverne and Shirley, and how old did we?
It was a generational issue. I think we were talking to a 20-year-old. I
Right.
said, have you ever heard of TV Land?
Who was that? Who
That's it.
Who was it that
It was
asked
the
us?
waitress, wherever we were.
Yeah.
I just don't remember where we were.
I think
Oh, no, it was Lana.
it was Lana,
said we were
PR woman.
Tavios, yes.
We sat down with a PR woman to get an idea.
Let's give her a shout out.
Yeah, shout out. Actually, she reached out on Facebook, and so I became friends with her. But we met with her to get an idea of, what we can be doing to sort of bring our little Two Chicks Chattin', which, we're so new. We're such newbies that we're like, is it a podcast? Is it a video cast? We've tried a couple different ways to do it. We seem to be most comfortable on Facebook Live. I know for a fact that there's tons of specifically brides and grooms that are on there looking for work. And I was just hired to officiate a wedding very last minute last week. So I think that's a good avenue for us. I mean, we really haven't delved that much into Instagram, and I know that anybody is on Instagram, but I really haven't done it that much.
Neither have I.
So, I mean, I've kept up with it, but again, you know what you know, right? You know what you know.
We're playing to our strengths currently.
Yes,
Right.
well, that's good. Now I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the fact that when I first reached out, you were Two Chicks Dishing.
Oh, yeah.
So
And then,
Yep.
we kind of had a name change. So
what brought that on?
Two Chicks Dishing was.
I like that, actually. I thought that was pretty cool.
It was actually a real show that was on, I believe, what was it, 106.7? Magic 106.1? One of them.
I don't know, but it was in
MJX
the...
maybe, but it was in another. It was probably in the 80s, I believe. Done
It
Oh,
was
it was.
actually when I was on the air, so that would have been 93, and I think... Why do I feel like it was...
Kim, real quick, when you say you were on the air, we know Denise LaCarubba and I went to school together.
Okay.
Everyone listening may or may not have heard you from...
I started out at a station called The Eagle, and that was in 1994 in the Back Bay on Huntington Ave, across from
Eagle
the
93.
Yep,
Yes.
across from the super old, may it rest in peace, Dick's Last Resort, which is no longer there, and
Which is a shame.
which is a crying shame because you're never going to get another place like that. I mean,
Right, true.
there was just such a cool vibe there, and I was over there for 4 or 5 years, so we had done a lot of events at Dick's, a lot of Halloween parties and things like that, and Anyway, so yeah, I worked in radio for a long time. I've lived here in Mass for 25 years, and 10 years
Tell me
ago,
where you're from, Kim.
I am from.
She has no regional dialect. That's the
I
issue.
am from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So I moved out here in '93. I was around the Midwest for a while. Went to school in Minneapolis, lived in St. Paul, and 10 years ago, I went back to doing gigs, which for me is weddings and corporate events. Everybody's got their niche. Don't really want to do kid parties. Don't really want to do bar bat mitzvahs. I don't, because you know what? I haven't done it. There's a lot that goes into that. So everybody knows what their strong suit is. And I think that it's okay to say no. Never, ever did I think that I would turn money down. Like I have so much of it, right?
You're playing to your strengths. There's certain entertainers that are honestly better faceted at a certain event or genre than we are. She and I met because we were both DJs for ZLX for many years.
Oh,
So
and there it is.
Yes, that was, I want to say 2002 when they were still in the Prudential.
Nope, it was over on Soldiers Field Road, and
No,
I
that's I mean, I was ZLX was
Oh,
up in
okay.
the crew, and that's when I started with them.
Two chicks
working with
fighting.
Two chicks fighting.
No. She was when I started working for ZLX, they were in the Prudential on the 33rd floor,
Yes.
and then they moved over to Leo Birmingham Parkway,
Yes.
and that's where I think you and I had met.
Yes.
And we were both working for ZLX.
And that would have
at the
been
same
about
time.
2005.
Yes, because I had left there about 2009, I think. We were doing different shifts, and you were also doing Metro Radio at the time too, weren't you?
Metro was after that, and then I reached out. Can I say who I reached out to?
Oh, of course.
I reached out to Denise's ex-husband, and when I had left,
About that, like, who are you talking
Right?
I was thinking the
about?
same thing. I'm like, what?
right? Well, I
whatever you
didn't know.
want.
I don't want to.
What's today? Saturday. We actually have something to toast because it'll be final in 3 days from today.
Cheers.
Yes, this is. Can we have a?
We're having gin
A
and
gin and
tonic.
tonic,
Actually,
cheers.
this is.
No, this is a
I'll raise
positive, you will?
my glasses
You will?
case.
Yeah,
Case
There we
glasses
go.
case.
Thank
I
you.
love it.
Can
Love
I ask
it.
why you don't have a beverage, George? This is peer pressure.
This is peer pressure.
Yes, I mean you don't have to go anywhere. I mean I have to drive an hour home. She's got at least an hour and a half drive down to the cave.
Right?
I feel like
no
this
peer
is
pressure.
This is peer pressure. I might have
Why
to,
don't
I
you
might
have
have to
a
take a break. Let you girls
He
chat
told-
as you
he
do.
told us to bring something and make
Well,
you comfortable.
Right?
Your
I'm already
demeanor
comfortable.
helps us comfortable.
I'm already comfortable.
Your demeanor helps us make comfortable. So
How's-
why
how's-
do we need? Why do we need?
You never know. Sometimes I could be. Kim and I just met a minute and a half ago. I could have been like, she could have been freaked out by me and need a little alcoholic beverage. I don't know.
Oh no, I just always need gin. It's just an always gonna go to. And this is actually Denise's first time drinking.
What?
Gin.
Wait, what? Oh, gin. I was like, wait a second.
First time
No,
drinking
true
gin.
Story, true story, George.
Yeah, true story.
And actually, for all of our buddies who are
We'll tell the
listening
fake ones
from
later.
high school,
Yeah.
yeah. So I grabbed.
By the way, Denise, you look fantastic. By the way, you look just the way you seem taller. You just seem taller.
It's the hair.
I know it's Kim's shoes and it's the
Yeah.
it's the hair.
It
Probably
is
too.
the hair.
But really,
I kind of wish you had a camera going on. 'Cause this is
I have
new.
I have an iPhone. I can take care of that.
Oh yes. Well, we'd have to
Yeah.
take a photo for
Absolutely,
posterity.
absolutely. But I definitely could pick you out of a crowd.
Absolutely.
No, not because of the look. Because
Yeah,
of
they could pick me out of a crowd with this hairstyle. That's for sure.
true,
Who am I
it's true.
kidding? Oh my gosh.
True story. You're going for true story. I rudely interrupted you.
No. I completely forgot what the true story.
3 days from now, you're a free woman.
Oh,
Yep.
about the
Cheers.
about the divorce. Yes, no, there are positive things. I wasn't like J Lo or
Mariah Carey.
Zsa with the starter marriages. No,
Oh,
it was
okay.
a good time.
Zsa
We were
Zsa.
together for 12, almost 13 years, and married for 6, and we are both in better places now. And even though I'm a wedding DJ, I'm not lost on that marriage propensity, but it just wasn't for me.
Fair enough.
So yeah, and true story. When it happened, that was when I went and kind of shaved my head. So
Is that right?
yes,
So you're
Yes.
G.I. Jane now.
I have more hair than G.I.
Well,
Jane
on top, you
did.
definitely do.
Yeah, this is kind of half G.I. Jane meets Eraserhead meets
Kid and Play.
Kid Play. Yes.
She just told me she listened
What
to
is
the Krista
old again?
Yes, Krista
Yes.
and Dawn, and we referenced House Party a million times. So this is where I say
love House
Eraserhead, because
Party.
I said that about 12 times.
I love House Party.
Yes.
Eraserhead would work. Yes, or something in Weird Science, maybe.
Yeah.
What's old is new. I love all those old 80s movies. My hair is a science experiment. Yes. But no, she and I had met through ZLX. She had actually reached out to my ex-husband to network and to ask, she's getting into the industry where she had been an honor DJ for a while, and she was interested in getting into more mobile work. And
what did he do, if I may interrupt? Just so
Mike was also an honor DJ. He's actually has a podcast also, and what I thought about connecting Damon to is my ex-husband has a podcast called That Wrestling Show.
Whoa.
And
two worlds need to collide.
Yeah, right. And I think I'm going to give you his name and information, and Damon too, because he has a very close friend, Billy. I want to say Billy's last name is Sullivan, who is the ring.
The referee, the ring announcer.
The ring announcer for all of the indie shows that I think Damon is involved in.
Probably.
Yeah. So this is like 6 degrees of George Noonan. So we're going to have to get you guys connected. Yeah. But I mean, I was following WWE and all of the, all the NXT and the Performance Center, and I just kind of picked up on it, and I almost felt like every single pay-per-view with wrestling was like a Oscar. Like I would stand up and clap like that was really good writing. I did not see that coming. I did not. It was really good. And then being a female and seeing the very nice oiled gentleman and the tiny out, it's nice.
So it doesn't hurt, basically.
No, not at all. It's
Fair
a positive learning experience.
Yes.
So backing up about ex-husband, he was a
Yes.
he has had his podcast and he was an
Meanwhile,
honored DJ
Kim's
as
just
well.
sipping. She's on a beach. Look at her. She's
story, whatever.
She's doing the straw thing like she's on a beach. She's great.
Okay. No.
We met and we got together.
No, so here was the deal. We were at ZLX, and first I had met you, and I thought, gosh, what fabulous hair. So it's always about you with the hair, right?
Seriously.
And then
I that's when I had hair
fast forward, I don't know how many years it would have been, but then I left Metro, realized radio was dying, and begrudgingly, I mean, you've never seen anyone drag their feet like I did at the thought of going back to doing gigs again and dealing with drunk people at weddings, because you know how obnoxious they are, and people putting, crap next to your gear and, touching your stuff. And
everybody knows that the DJ table at a wedding is the place where you put your keys, your purse,
Don't
your
bump
shoes.
the
well,
DJ
and I don't
table.
even, I don't know, and I don't even mind that.
House
Okay,
party.
Exactly.
Right? I don't mind that, but when you're drunk and stupid and you're getting in my space, and now,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe this will cut down on the number of people that come up and get real close and have booze breath and then spit on you while they're talking when they're trying to
Yes.
request a song.
That does happen.
So hopefully this will, with COVID, that'll cut that down because they'll be masked and we won't have to deal with that. No, I begrudgingly went back to doing this, and when I had started, I was working in radio, and this goes back a lot of years, which I'm not even going to try to think of how many years, but
7.
No, 7. Okay, let's say 7. So
I thought you were going to say
was
last century.
turntables and 45s and music in milk crates and
that was last century.
very, that's right. Very, very
She
different.
just thought about that.
I
Wait a
know,
second.
right? I show my kid a
century.
cassette tape, and they're like, "What? How do you do
Last
that?"
time I saw George, last century.
Yeah, it was.
It really was.
What do you think about that gin and tonic? Is it?
Nice.
Kim made
Is it
Denise
nice?
a gin and tonic for her first drink of gin and tonic, and she's
Yeah.
loving it.
Here's another true story I'm going to interject you on.
Yeah.
Keep the story.
Yeah,
You can
keep
go
it going.
fake if
Keep
you
it
want.
going.
It doesn't have to be always true.
Yeah.
Not only is she a DJ,
Yeah.
but she's an officiant.
Ooh. Well,
So
she mentioned that.
She can
mentioned.
marry you.
I was getting to that.
Yep.
She can get you in need of dry cleaning, and she can get you hella
Yep.
drunk.
Whoa.
So
That's
she's
right.
a very good bartender.
That's right. So I come
Jeez.
fully prepared.
Goodness, I have to
Actually,
nurse that one.
after we met at ZLX, and I decided I was going to have to go back and do gigs now, and everything had changed, and music is on a hard drive, and it's a computer. And of course, just me being me, I have to jump in midstream, and I want to know how to do everything right now, and I want gigs. And it happened to be a year where my kids my friends had kids that were graduating, or maybe my kids were graduating or whatever. And so I was able to say, hey, let me come over and play their graduation party, not charge them, get to know my gear. And then I think it was after that, when I at least had some bearings about me, that I came groveling and begging to Mike and said,
She really wasn't.
do
groveling to
you know what Denise does with her leftovers? Would she want to share?
Were you referring to Mike or the?
Yeah,
This
the
was to my
ex-husband.
ex-husband, yeah.
No, you're
Yeah.
referring to him.
Yes.
As
yes.
leftovers?
No, oh no,
See,
no.
keep up. Come on. If I have to explain it.
No.
Your words, not mine.
Leftovers being gigs that she couldn't do, that she would pass on.
Because she wanted to network. She wanted to really. She was learning trial by fire, really.
She was what?
Learning trial by fire. She wanted to just. It was like drinking water from a fire hose. She jumped right in with 2 feet. She wanted to know, how to best get gigs, how to network, how to do it, how to, market, how to level up in the mobile field. And it also, I think, at that time was probably like right in the middle of wedding season too. When we had met, we had a date at Besito to talk about all that.
Yep.
It's funny.
Yep. Every place.
We had
Besito, and then
the Mexican chain restaurant. It's funny because I think they closed them.
They
all.
did. And then what was the other one?
Davio. I mean, Del Frisco's.
Yes. Every place we go, they close down. They close.
Stop going. My garage is going to be closed down now. Thanks.
Yeah. Right.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to do?
So
it was a good run.
Yeah. Do you have chips and salsa?
Not on me, but yes, sure.
We went to Besito.
There you go.
We had noshed and had drinks, and we must have been there for like 3-4 hours that first time we met. We lost track of time.
Yep. That first time we met, yes.
And the only reason why I remember that was I was pissed because I wanted to go to Victoria's Secret and they were closed, and it was after 8. Because
That's
I remember giving you a hug, and it was like right at the end. I'm sorry, I'm totally going.
Immediately you thought
it's the
bras and
damn gin and
underwear when you gave her
tonic.
a hug?
I'm telling you, I just had a sip.
Seriously.
But I think that you actually did hit Sephora. So there was happiness there.
Yes.
Right?
But I know why. Because I said that there was that Snapchat scandal that I showed you. So I had to go to Victoria's Secret to go treat myself.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. It was the beginning of the end.
Yes.
So I went and did some retail damage that night. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, actually, no. That was the catalyst of the divorce, actually. So I went. Yeah, no, it was good. And then we had a date. I had a date with you, and it was productive and insightful.
And that was just. Then we just sort of realized that we would certainly feel comfortable passing work back and forth to each other. Like, you can't. I learned the hard way. It was a client that I'd worked with in the past, and they wanted karaoke. Karaoke is not something I do. Everybody's got their own thing. I don't do lights. I go in, and I think my strong suit is that I'm a really good MC. I can work a room, and I'm not shy to talk. Right. So. I totally forgot what I was going to say now.
Proving your point that you're great at talking.
What's that?
Proving your point that you're great at talking.
I have a way of talking, right?
No, I mean, it's just how we came together and how we were able to kind of connect our histories and our skill sets. And
I know what I was going to say. I was going to say I sent someone out with karaoke to do it for this client, right? And then I stopped in to see how it was going because the party was in Peabody, which is where I live.
Good old Peabody.
And the guy absolutely sucked. I had to call the client the next day and apologize. So then I said, I'm never sending anybody out. There's never going to be anybody that works for me. I'm only going to, that's right. I'm only going to do it for myself. So it's Deja and then 2 other male DJs that I would refer work to. It's a real small group of people because if you're not going to do it exactly the way I would do it, then forget it. I wouldn't refer you. And that might sound snotty or condescending.
No, it's not.
We're just perfectionists.
You've built up your own reputation. We've built up our own, integral reputation in the industry. Next year will be 30 years that I've been a DJ. I started in
a row.
Yeah.
Gotcha, beat kid. She's a youngin'.
And to be clear, Denise, you're Deja, right? You're Deja when she was referring.
Oh yeah.
So I knew that.
My government name is Denise
Your
LaCarubba.
government name.
She's got all kinds of names.
She's got AKAs.
My DJ name Deja.
DJ Eraserhead.
Yes.
I like it.
Wiki.
Woo.
And then sometimes I call her D, so it could be D.
Yeah. Deja Denise.
Yeah.
Deja. The name.
No, I only go by Kim. So that's pretty simple.
Not K-Rock.
Not K-Rock, not KC and the Sunshine Band.
You could be KC though.
I could be KC. Actually,
I go, hey bitch.
Hey bitch.
You know who calls me Kimmy is Lisa Gatesy from the Black Box in Peabody. Yeah.
Bitch is actually a compliment, George.
2 bitches bitching.
2 bitchin' bitch.
2 bitchin' bitches.
You know what? All right, let's go back to 2 chicks.
Broads, 2 bitchin' broads.
2 chicks dishing.
Yes.
That was trademarked.
Okay.
See what happens with my show,
right?
Denise. I just want to. What happens on my show is you start somewhere. You go wherever the hell you want.
Right. There's a lot of trajectories
bring
here.
It around.
Right?
That's why I'm not drinking. I need to keep score. I knew.
Double
Okay.
estrogen
See?
on you right now.
Hey,
You got
I gotta
alcohol
hang
in
up.
front of
I
us.
gotta hang up.
I have to tip my hat to you, and I'm not wearing a hat. Why?
How'd you
Because
been?
you don't need one with the hair. You do not
If
need
you
a hat.
threw
It's a
brick
hat in
at-
itself.
If you threw a brick at my hair right now, the brick would cry, stop, and run around the other way and say, no, thank you. And tomorrow's not looking good either.
Whoa.
We could not do Two Chicks Edition when we looked into it because it was already trademarked from
it's
somebody.
copyright.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
We think that it still might be.
And
even
it's
though
so-
the show hasn't been on the air for like 20 years.
Yeah. So-
and it was two Boston women that had the show.
Yeah, and one is in New York now. So then we decided, you know what? Right now, before we get enormously huge
It's
and
about to
everyone
happen.
knows us, let's
Don't make me.
Denise almost
laugh.
stood up all over
just
me. by the way.
change it
Laugh
quick.
as I'm sipping a drink.
right. So now it's Two Chicks Chatting.
I like it.
So the story
It's
behind
her
that.
brainchild. I'm just the wet
No,
nurse.
no, it was not my brainchild because you know what happened?
Two Chicks Chatting was.
Well, Two Chicks Chatting, that was, but how it all came together. And I was just going to start to tell George when I got here, and then I'm like, let's just save it for the podcast. You came up to Peabody.
Yeah.
We were sitting at Not Your Average Joe's in the North Shore Mall.
Yes, right before the pandemic.
Right? And thinking something's going to happen. It's going to be lockdown. Our waitress was so nice. We were drinking wine, and I don't know, we
It
were
was
in a
good
booth.
time. Yeah, we were
and then
eating well that night.
we were eating well that night. We were drinking well that night. And then all of a sudden you were like, let's do a Facebook Live.
Yeah.
And remember, Jackie's Teas had done, right? Let's cheers.
Oh, wait, no, no.
Oh, wait, oh.
Look at see this. I see how it works now.
She's
Now I
grabbing
understand.
her phone and I'm grabbing my. She's grabbing her
Cheers.
drink and I'm grabbing my phone.
You could have said, "Listen, I
Jackie's
gotta go."
Teas
We are going to do something right now. You go on. I'm going to do.
made
a Facebook
my
Live right
shirt, and we showed that, and then we started talking. And just dishing and just doing funny little things. And
Yes,
and
it was good.
and then we were like, okay. And then everybody, and nothing against the guys that have done this and the ladies too. There were a lot of DJs that were going on social media, had their gear set up, were spinning and putting up tip jars. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, no.
I don't really want to set my gear up that bad to do
Yeah,
that.
right.
I would rather just sit and chat like we've done, talking about every time we get together, it's talking about what's going to happen and gigs that we've done and funny things that have happened. And so these videos that we've done on Facebook Live, which are a couple times a month, usually on Saturday nights. Is that what you're doing?
Oh,
You thought I was grabbing the drink.
precious.
Yes,
Right.
we're doing a Facebook Live. And it's actually, this is nice too because your show is called Chattin' with George Noonan.
See?
And our show is called Two Chicks Chattin'. So what does the Facebook Live say? Two Chicks Chattin' with George Noonan.
No, see, obviously that's what I was going to call my episode too, and I'm still going to do it.
Okay.
But that's
Please do.
that's exactly what I was going to call it.
Yes, but the people need to see the gentleman that we're chatting with.
Well,
He is not, I'm telling you, this gentleman is not aged in 30 years. I have not seen him since 1990.
is that
Wow.
accurate? That must be accurate.
That's very positive.
Wow.
More on Kim. Kim.
Yes.
Oh, no.
What about you, Denise? Let's
Yeah.
get you in there. I'm sorry, Deja.
Oh my God.
Deja.
Flip the script right now. Yep, there it is. Hey, there it is. There it is.
Shout out to She Hairspray. Can you hear me now? I'm sorry.
I can hear you. No, we heard you. You believe me. We still hear your car, but yes.
Yeah. Everybody hears my car. Everybody in Belmont knows who I am.
That's what Kim said to me. She said, we'll hear her
Who I am
before.
too.
The police? Yes.
They do. It's not. It's good though. Oh, Denise Ford's watching us right now.
Is she?
She is.
Denise Ford. I love Denise Ford.
Yes.
Are you on your
her.
page?
Yes.
Awesome.
I think I am. We're just
Perfect.
gonna have to get that. So continue.
Can I say hi to Denise?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, hey.
Hey, Denise. How are you?
She says hi.
Hi. I love it.
I love it. This is good. So and we got the positive thumbs. It's good.
Well, where were we? We were just talking about how we decided to just start chatting about stuff, mostly related to
life.
what we do.
Frank Landis is on.
Frankie.
Well-
I'm gonna say hi. We're just saying hi to everybody.
Sparkling water break, Frank. Sparkling water break. Frank will laugh at that, I bet you.
Oh, I love it.
And we also said that we weren't, when COVID happened and Black Lives Matter and all of these things that are just really, just squeezing the life out of our nation.
They're emaciating. They're detrimental. They're just, it's crazy.
We were like, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about weddings and corporate events and music and what one time we set up our rigs, both of us, over at her house, and it was like kind of dual playing. And like I said, this is a song I would definitely use during cocktail, and we didn't know what the other one was going to play, and it was kind of like a name that tune type deal. I'm a big game player. I've always been a game player. I like to play games. No, like trivia games, you know?
Games.
Yeah, games.
Oh, not like Saw, the movie.
Games in the literal context of
Right.
the word, games.
Games.
I like it.
Not
Not
sexual
mind
games, all right?
You heard
games.
Well, hold on a second. Speaking of which, can we at least just consider the possibilities? No? My wife's laughing at
Of
that.
what?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, you could. Yeah.
Okay, wait, you're married?
Yes.
Okay, where's your wife at?
She's far away from here as she can possibly be.
Really? In this house?
Well, in our house, yeah.
I have to say
In
hi
Middle
to
Street.
Beth Queenie Jackson, who's watching right now. We've got half
I'm
the
going to say
Stoneham
hi
Walk
too. Hey,
right
Beth.
now.
Hey, Beth.
Hey.
Hey,
Wait,
Beth.
is that your sister?
No.
Oh,
She-
okay.
the girl from Stoneham High.
Oh, okay.
We've got a
Okay.
lot of people from Stoneham
Hey,
High.
Beth. Hey, Lenny.
So he was. Oh, that's right. Because that's right. Beth and Lonnie. That's right. They both two Stoneham High people married one another, which is awesome.
All right, well, I didn't even know that you were married. I just thought you
I
were
just
like
met you an hour
swinging
ago.
single guy. How long you been married?
When I'm on the air, I'm swinging single guy.
Oh.
You have to, you've been in the business. You have to let them think. There's a chance.
Oh, well, the fans, right.
The
So
fans,
then,
they can't
because
know.
you're more attractive if you appear single, I
Secret's
guess.
out now. Now
Did
people
you
think I
notice that
suck.
he is not wearing a wedding ring?
Well, that's
Well,
because
I am.
there's a reason for that. That's
Why?
Because I swear to God, my wife knows it. My finger was getting tingly, so I took it off. I take it off.
The
That's
tingly
true.
fingers.
No,
story.
shh.
The tingly
Hold on.
fingers
Put that somewhere
story.
else. Kim's wearing hers.
This is not, you know what, this is not even my wedding ring. This is another ring that I was given as a
beautiful
gift.
one.
And you know what? Can I just tell you something?
What are you going to tell us?
When you're married 30 years, your taste changes. So I had yellow gold with a marquee stone with diamonds all over the sides of it. Totally not what I would wear now. So this is just a gift that my husband gave to me one time probably. So yeah, so 30 years. And how many years?
It'll be 5
Oh,
in
a newbie.
the 15th of
Still in honeymoon phase.
Da, da, da.
Every day is honeymoon.
how long did you have marriage last? You were still in honeymoon phase.
Actually, it would be 6 years on October 24th.
Oh, so we even got married on the same day as close.
kidding?
I was the 15th.
No way.
No, 20th.
Where did you get? You better tell me now before you got to get that.
It was 10, 20, 15. Yes, on the 20th. That's why I did that, so I wouldn't forget.
It's coming up real soon.
So I forgot. I got like at least 11 days. I'm good. That's all I need.
And you can't really go anywhere, so it's not like you can take her away.
No.
No, but stay-
I just put Calgon in the tub and then
Okay,
That's nice.
what their slogans
So,
take me
like-
away. What,
All right,
what-
can I just tell you
Take me
something?
away, I
All right,
like
no,
that.
can I just tell you something?
did someone like that? No, nobody like
Yeah.
that.
Yes, a lot of people do that.
Can I just tell you, if you would do the bath thing, I think that's great. But also, there is nothing better than fresh flowers. And even so just bringing them to as a gift. Okay, but not a bouquet. Have an arrangement already put together so they don't have to do it themselves. Because guess what? I've gotten lots of flowers and I've gotten lots of bouquets from my husband.
They've all died.
Well, they probably all died because I didn't know how the hell to put them into the bowl right.
Neither do I.
So
Toilet
spend
bowl.
the extra $5. Guess what? You know who's got great flower arrangements already set together? Beautiful Whole Foods. Go in there, spend
Yes, I got my-
$35.
I got my wedding
Boom.
flowers at Whole Foods.
Okay?
I really
And how'd
do.
that work out? See, no.
All right.
No.
Yeah, oh.
I'm kidding. I'm teasing.
No, that's okay. Hey, listen, you know what? The color of like the Patriot red and the red of your
Headphone thing.
your
yeah.
headphones.
Yeah.
That was the color of my dress.
That's cool.
So I walked in. There were a couple of audible gasps. I
Like-
walked
like
in with
Satan?
the red dress.
Sa-
Well, hey, how long did my marriage last?
and you attribute it to the red dress. See, that's where the problem lies.
I remember getting. There's a woman who I work with who is a fashion designer. She made my dress as a gift, and I remember walking out of her salon after I
hated
picked
you.
the date. No, she was so happy because she always wanted to make a red dress, and she never made a red dress before.
And you said, I'm in.
Yeah, and then I went home and I was like, "What the hell did I just
What did I
do?"
just sign up for?
Yeah, but I went through with it.
Wow.
My 1990 wedding.
saw it.
Wait, we did it. So one of our two chicks chatting, we had
too much
used
math.
Be Live one time. And so
Yes.
through Be Live, we were able to show pictures of our wedding dresses. Okay, here she is in this rock star, Marilyn Monroe red dress. And then here's me, 1990, with the
nice because
big shoulders,
puffy ones,
the big
tulle.
headband, dynasty
Very
type
dynasty.
head. Yeah.
Very
It was all
Blake.
over the place. It was all over the
She
place.
was Carrington that day.
I was.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in South Dakota, I mean, what
We did not mean to say Casey.
Casey and the Sunshine Band.
So that brings us up to where we are today. So we are two rock and
In my garage? Great.
Yes.
Well,
That worked out well.
No, you did ask. You asked us to come on today, which
Did.
we are totally grateful for because this is the first time that we have been guests on another podcast.
Well, I'm honored.
Yes.
It is
And
truly honored.
we, again, are several times a month, usually on Saturday nights through pandemic is when we decided we were going to do this.
Yeah.
Well, we learned something the other night when we went out to dinner at Davio's, which if you're going to go out to dinner, it just really doesn't get any better. The
Davio's
level
actually did a
of
really-
service
yeah.
is just
an
unbelievable,
amazing
and it
job.
was a gorgeous
The one-
room we sat
The
in.
one thing that
And
was really weird though was just the picture of his whole face, like on his like chest.
Is that right?
oh, yeah,
so they have
right.
to
She
wear-
was breathing heavy and wanted to jump over the
did
table.
not.
Just saying.
I believe it. Are you getting her two-fisted right now? I was there.
Do you see how she's drinking and I have my hand on
Well,
the microphone
no,
and
because
the camera, so I don't even
she's-
have enough to be watching right now.
She's a lightweight.
I am a very lightweight.
She's a very
we have a
lightweight.
lot- we could keep on doing.
So
watching.
Lana
Lana.
told us
Lana's the PR
that
agent. Yes.
we should think about doing our Facebook lives on a different
I have a
day.
really good hair.
You really are.
So that's
She
what
did,
we're
yes.
thinking about.
Yes, so we're going to be doing more podcasts, getting more involved in the community. She gave us some wonderful ideas about getting involved. She had what? Oh, her? Me? Oh, me. Oh, gotcha. She was doing a spin class with for an ovarian research charity. And I
Ovarian?
said, yes.
Who was doing
Sounds
this?
like birth
Lana.
control.
Oh, Lana was. That's
Well,
how you
no,
met her. Yeah.
October is
Okay.
Breast Month.
Okay.
Also, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So
I'm aware of breast all year round, to be honest with you.
You're a breast man.
That's good.
All year round.
We appreciate
Fantastic.
you.
12 months of pain,
Yeah.
please.
Fantastic.
She got
She's snorting.
Snorted. I like
she's
that.
she's a snorter. I didn't know. You know.
It's just
These are
gonna
things you
get
find out.
messy. It's gonna get messy.
Well-
It is. Do you have a pet?
Yeah, that's a cat. The cat's in there.
Oh, the cat's in here.
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if the cat was hiding in here. I would.
So
find
is
the
this
cat
what
and
you
I would put
did?
the cat on my lap.
Was this what you were doing for soundproofing? All of this on the.
It's called.
No,
an
I did absolutely
unfinished-
nothing to
Okay.
soundproof anything. I
Okay,
do this,
cool.
I do this on. I'll do this anywhere.
Okay.
No,
Cool.
This is great. This actually has really good acoustics.
Well, I mean, because when we have done our lives, we honestly, last week, we were thinking we were going to get into the Hotel Salem rooftop and do a super cool video from there.
Kim Kearns says hello.
Hey Kim,
Sorry,
what's going on?
I'm so sorry.
That's
Another
all right.
Kim. Yes.
Yeah. And so then.
Is that ridiculous? This wave, by the way, is that stupid? I don't know.
No,
Should I go like this?
you.
Hey, how's it going?
She loves it. Yes. Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing? The camera loves you, George.
At least someone does.
really does.
Oh, I'm jokes.
Is this actually the first podcast that you've had on camera?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to be seen here.
Why? The camera loves
I'm trying to
you.
get Kim to do a
He's
spit
easy on
thing.
the eyes.
Spit
She's got this too.
I've got it.
Trisha Burns.
She owns it.
Hey,
I've got it.
She did.
I've got it.
Go on.
So we went
Go
to
on.
Salem and we couldn't get into the hotel
That's
because it was an hour and a half wait and we were both in bad shoes. So we ended up walking a few blocks
Ladies, you know what I'm talking about.
on the backside.
Those are
of the-
Kim
Try
shoes.
walking Salem in these things.
right?
This is conducive to
Two chicks
torture.
witching.
Two chicks witching.
Two chicks bitching.
So we
Two
sat
bitchin'
down
chicks.
on the back side of the PBD Essex Museum, and we were doing our video there, and just like, oh my God, our feet hurt. Let's show our feet. And then all of a sudden, we smelled pot because someone was probably smoking pot.
Probably.
Pot smoking
And then-
pot smoking witch hat wearing tourists.
That tourists,
You know they're tourists
Right?
because the only
They
ones
gotta
wearing
be
witch
tourists.
hats.
right? So
People from Boston do not wear witch hats.
then
in
we were
Salem.
just getting ready
We
to
wear
tell
Patriots
about
hats.
like funny or crazy events that we had done, and legit
Legit, right at
we
that time.
could not. It was just too good to be true. Like, you couldn't have planned it better. All of a sudden, around the corner comes this guy who was dressed up as Frankenstein. And we'd already seen him. I don't know. I think he was hot for you.
Oh,
He smelled
Like Cheetos.
that's
That's
awesome.
weird that he smelled. That's weird that he smelled like Cheetos through his mask.
True.
Okay.
True.
Through his mask. That's weird.
Gentleman. Frank was very nice. He told me that he is
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein is.
Oh, you were.
Well, I did not.
I went for
I
the
did
joke.
not Stein his Frank. No,
No, don't Stein.
He told me that he was prominently featured in the new Adam Sandler movie that
Oh,
is
that's
coming
right.
up.
Yes, you said something
Hoobie
about
Halloween.
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
Filmed
I actually want
last
to see
year. Yes, it's actually coming out on Netflix next week.
that. Well,
I am Frank. Apparently, I'm Frankenstein's publicist right now.
publicist.
Damn
More gin.
Weaker on the next one, please.
More gin.
Okay, wait.
Okay.
For those of us who are watching us, I haven't had a lot. In
She's
my
never
drink.
had gin before.
I've
in
never
her
had
life.
gin before. There's really not a lot here. If I put myself on camera, you're going to see that I'm okay.
Well,
The only thing I'm having issues with right now is my fake eyelashes. They're kind of making me like a little weepy.
they look good. Well, they do look. I think so.
Yes, but I kind of stabbed myself with it's girl. It's
You're not supposed to
first
stab
world
yourself.
problems, girl problems.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
It really is. I know I'm not supposed to, but
we all do.
it's a podcast, and I'm wearing false eyelashes.
Makes perfect sense.
Thank you.
See, if I knew I'd be on camera, I would have dressed up a little bit more.
You look great.
No, you wouldn't.
You look
No, you
great.
wouldn't.
You look great.
You know what?
With all respect to your wife, you look fantabulous.
I
You've been
think
taking very good care of
She
yourself.
won't listen to this anyways. Don't worry about it. She
Why?
doesn't listen to it.
She should be very proud of you.
Yeah, she is, but she doesn't listen to it.
You're on Apple and Spotify, and you've got like all these awesome people that you talk to. I was listening to Krista and John talk about like 90 Day Fiance. It was
Seriously.
pissa. It
Well,
was
then you
so
should listen to
awesome.
But First, because that's Bonnie and that's my wife and Krista.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's all about the 90 Day Fiance.
Oh, I love it.
I wanted it to be about Big Brother, but first, but it ended up being about 90 Day Fiance.
It's all about happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, that's why I'm in the garage.
Why don't you have a TV in here?
You're assuming I don't.
Oh, correct. Well, you know when you assume,
Yes, but I really
let's
don't. You were right.
speculate instead. So can I ask, was there a boxing thing that was hanging from there? Like a
No, I've done nothing to this.
Really?
I've done nothing to this garage.
I can't tell that.
I've just added stuff.
I can't tell that.
I threw a shovel over there. That's all I've done. I've done it. It's
The shovel we're gonna need.
yeah,
The shovel
eventually,
works.
sure.
The nice cobalt blue color
Yeah.
gives me inspiration for my next nail color. Actually,
Ooh, look at that.
yes. And where we are in Abington, ladies and gentlemen, is actually very bright, very.
That's
sunny.
my car. You're getting that Central.
Your car?
Yeah. Don't. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, you can't. I'm just teasing.
That's a sexy little car, a little neat.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Not bad.
It's like you can pull it right in the garage.
Yeah.
If you wanted to.
If I decide to.
Do you park in here when you're
In the
not
winter time, I do. I don't park in the.
Very
This
nice.
is very nice.
Very
Perfect
nice.
acoustics.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
We're not all over each other. We are socially distant somewhat. But I have my mask, and we were all tested.
If you just
Well,
take
you
your
know
shoes
what?
out, that's 6 feet right there. So.
Correct. If I do
And
take
they're
my
Kim's
shoes
shoes.
off. Yes.
I
I've
had-
inherited I've inherited the shoes.
I think I did.
Oh, my ex-father-in-law is watching. Hi, Fred. How you doing? Sorry.
I
That
think I did.
must have been really attractive to him. Oh, it's my ex-father.
No, he's cool.
Oh,
We're
great.
cool. We're cool.
Hi,
We're
Fred.
cool. Fred and I are
Great.
cool. Fred
Fred's
knows.
on the line again. Oh, this guy.
Fred knows. We're cool. Fred is cool.
Is
He
Fred
is.
cool, though?
Yes, Fred is
Fred's
a cool. Fred is
hey,
a
Fred,
cool man.
you're cool apparently. Stay
Yes. Yes, he's my father-in-law for 3 more days.
cool. Well, you get one more gift out of him. That's it. Do it.
I
Work
do?
It. Work it. Yeah.
His gift of watching this live podcast.
That's true. He probably just put it on and walked away though, but that doesn't that counts.
Fred's watching Two Chicks Chattin with George Noonan.
Get t-shirts made.
T-shirts. Okay, let's give a shout out to
Wow.
Jackie Moldau.
She knows how to pivot a conversation.
Well-
She really does.
Well, I love to, here's the thing, throughout all of this, I really think that we got to push small business. So Jackie's
true.
Tees, Rantoul Street, Beverly. She has made some rock star shirts for me, long sleeve, short sleeve. I actually just went in yesterday.
Matter of fact,
she
all
made
sleeves.
masks. All sleeves. All sleeves.
And
Sleeveless.
masks. Yes,
Right?
correct.
I went in, she made masks for me yesterday right there on the spot, $10, can't beat it. She's a cool chick. We met through networking.
Two Chicks Networking.
Two Chicks Networking. And she has a lot of clients, a lot of work, and she does great work. So why not bring it local? And actually, she grew up in my neighborhood. Her parents have a
Your
house
neighborhood
right
in
around.
Peabody, not your
Yeah, which
neighborhood in
neighborhood? You've got
Minnesota.
17 different neighborhoods.
That's true.
I know.
You did.
I've just been a
You did have
world
several.
traveler.
Yes.
Hey, there's a big brown dog.
Someone's being taken for a walk out there.
No, I've certainly lived a lot of different places, but gosh, it's so funny because I remember when
You
we
have
were
no accent though. That's the thing.
well.
You sound like you talk to George and I like after a couple drinks, and it's like we sound like Ben Affleck in a bad movie. We really do. Park your car in Harvard Yard. What are you retarded? Wicked pisser. Where you going to Packy? I want to go to the Packy. What's the letter after Q?
Love it. I don't know. I think that certainly when I'm around,
Oh my God.
when I've been around my family, then I sound like I'm more from the Midwest. But,
Amy.
yeah, I think that, and I also think that the New England accent is something that is sort of inbred because I've had 2 kids. I had 1 kid before I moved here, and I had 2 kids here in Massachusetts. And I don't think any of my kids sound like they have a New England accent.
Yeah.
And I suppose
they were raised here.
right. But raised by parents. I mean, my husband's from Texas, so he certainly doesn't have an
He's
East
got a
Coast
twang.
accent. He's
Yeah,
got
he's got a
twang,
twang.
and then the South Dakota thing, and
So South Dakota and Texas meets in Massachusetts.
meets in Iowa.
So it gets even better. So it meets in Iowa.
Meets in
and says,
the
you know what I need to be?
armpit of America.
The armpit of America.
Des Moines, Iowa. That's not where we met.
For real?
But yeah, we met in Cedar Rapids. But we lived in Des Moines after our oldest daughter was born, and armpit. Just there's not a lot going on. I'm the daughter of a lifelong farmer, and so I totally get that whole out in the country vibe, and it is beautiful out in rural South Dakota, but I could never live there. And so I remember when we were living in Des Moines and we were going to have to move to Mass for the big dig. My husband, shout out to Local 7 Ironworkers.
Smooth.
Yep.
Nice segue.
Well, no, he's at Sand and Gravel now doing a T line, but Local 7 Ironworkers, we're doing the big dig. And so we came out here, and I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to be so afraid. Everyone's going to be so rude. It's going to be horrible, and I'm going to hate it. And then I kept having this recurring dream that I was having to, guy, it looks like a mint.
I'm laughing because Denise is doing the live. I have to talk to the people who can't see right now.
Right.
There's me. Hey, that's the good finger, not the middle finger, everybody. Denise is showing off her photo skills.
Her photo.
There we go.
Absolutely.
And Kim is happy to oblige.
So I really thought it was just going to be the worst thing in the world, and I kept having this recurring dream that I was leaving Massachusetts, and I did not want to go, and I knew that I was just going to be so bummed out and sad that I wasn't here. So I don't know what that means, and I just broke my fingernail. So yeah,
It's all fun and games.
so yeah.
That's how it is.
So here we are.
Here we are, yeah.
All these years later, 25 years later. And I couldn't imagine living anywhere else. I could never live in South Dakota. I could never live in Texas. That's an absolute no.
Places to visit, but not.
Right. Just very different than what it is in Massachusetts. And so.
I don't know if I could ever move away personally. I think like being here like my entire life and just, putting roots here, and granted my sister is up in Nashua and my father's down in southern Florida. My mom passed many moons ago, but I feel like just there's no better place to be than around here. I mean, Boston right now, it's a little funky.
Well, anywhere right now is though.
Yeah, yes, of course. But I mean, it's just where you have a sense of community and there's so much to do. And I mean, personally for me, I'm blessed being in Belmont because Belmont is like 5 minutes everywhere to go. Like Boston, Cambridge, anywhere to go. Just any highway, it's right there. It's perfect just to do that.
Great. I have to put this in between my legs and file my nail.
The microphone people. She's talking about. Wait, what? We're here
You just heard the microphone between her legs. That's the only point.
That's the only excitement there's been there for quite some time.
Let's just explain. All right, I'm sorry for you, Kim.
Well, no, here's
Kim's
the
doing
deal.
surgery because
what happened is once you take off
Once
a
you
gel
finish
manicure.
a half a drink.
Well, no, okay, gel
Once you
manicure,
finish-
you know how it is, right?
A gel manicure will leave if you pull it off,
This is for the gentlemen that are listening and watching.
if you pull
And
off
the ladies
it
will relate. It will.
You know what
I
I'm saying.
do, but
Ladies,
you have
you've
to
been there.
explain what you're doing. You have to
Okay.
remember this is a
Okay.
podcast. They are only listening to us.
So when you you
Kim.
take off that layer of gel off of your nail, it leaves it really just wrecked.
Wait,
And
where's
I
my pen? I
did
need a
that
pen,
this
baby.
morning,
No, we have it on video.
Oh, that's right. I'll just.
and I
watch.
didn't have enough time to go and get a manicure, so I just put a coat of polish on there.
No.
And now they're just weak and bad and
No.
are going to fall apart.
That's not good.
It's not good.
No.
Okay,
You're
drink.
still gonna rock it. Have it. Yes, you can. Do you want some of mine?
I knew you-
I'm tired.
I knew you
apparently
wouldn't
I'm-
like it.
It's not that I don't like it. It's just that you're drinking
You only
far
have two
faster
cans.
than
You
I
gotta
am.
pull 5 different things.
You're drinking faster than I am.
Story of my life, Kim.
Yes, it is. So now my brother-in-law is watching. Sean Anderson. Hello, Sean. This is my sister's husband.
Oh, it was not your husband's, your brother's husband.
No. That's
Oh, that could be
that's
a
it. Could be.
possibility, but
It
she
could
doesn't
be
have a
yes,
brother.
because
This
he doesn't
Massachusetts.
know. I only have one sister.
Oh,
She actually married a guy from Wakefield High. So my sister graduated Stoneham High '94, and she married a guy from Wakefield High '94. She married her high school sweetheart.
Oh,
They've been married
precious.
for like 25 years now.
in a row.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're both still alive.
Well,
But a
wow,
shout out
that's
to my sister.
Please, that's a nice thing to
It
say.
actually is. No, I
Why
mean,
are you
it's just-
surprised they're both still alive? Because they'd kill each other?
Well, I know my intensity. I mean, I don't know my sister, but Sean's a good dude though, so he puts up with a lot.
He can handle himself.
He can, and it's
Push
also
up
a
the shove.
testament because their kids are angels. They have a 21-year-old son, and Allie's 19, and the kids are angels.
Wow.
And my sister works in the emergency room at Leahy. So if you ever need help, anybody from Stoneham, go find Bethany. She's at Leahy Emergency.
Yeah, if you're anywhere else, don't bother. Only if you're from Stoneham.
Only go to Leahy.
Too bad if you're from Wakefield or Woburn.
You got a
Yeah.
fast
What about
pass.
Peabody?
Good old Peabody. Good
You
old
got a fast
Peabody.
pass. Look for
Oh.
Bethany.
Fast
Okay.
pass.
Look for you got a fast pass at Leahy.
Leahy Peabody?
No, Leahy Burlington.
Well, see, Leahy
Yeah,
Peabody's in my
yeah.
backyard.
That is.
Can't
Yeah,
do it.
we'll make a call and say I know Bethany.
She's going to want to go there.
That could work too. Yes.
I like it.
Let's get back to us. I'm just giving shout outs.
I got.
I mean,
Can I
well,
just say one thing real
yeah.
quick? I have to say one
Yeah.
thing because
Yes.
in high school, the thing I loved the most about Denise was, is your last name a secret?
My
Because I used to call her Denise LaCarubba, a womp bam boom.
yes. Oh my God! I forgot that.
I seriously still laugh to this day about that.
All right, let's talk about my last name and growing up in high school.
Okay.
It's fantastic.
So I was a cheerleader all 4 years, pretty much, and the football players. And oh my god, I remember this because it made the yearbook.
Where are we going with this?
Some of the football players could not pronounce LaCarubba.
Really?
Correct.
A womp bam boom? That's why I did it.
Yeah, I know you did. Well, you had a certain panache.
Panache.
Some of the other football players on the team weren't so panache.
Panache?
Yeah,
Panache.
couldn't put a couple of
Two chicks panaching.
two bros
What's
panaching.
north? Two chicks snorting. Or one chick snorting. One chick drinking. One chick
I'm
snorting.
not a snorter. One chick snorting.
So, and I'm looking at this guy's face, an English teacher. Who was the English teacher? Tall guy. What was his last
Dansdale.
name?
Dansdale?
No.
Oh, okay.
What? It started with an L or something. I forget what it was.
La Dansdale?
No. No, it wasn't Mr. Dansdale. I don't think that
All I remember is Muchika.
Muchika.
Well,
It was Muchika.
doesn't even have an L in
Mr.
it, by the way,
Muchika.
but-
No, it was Mr. Muchika. He was the one who would say, they're like, why did they call? And so.
Yes, you know what?
couple-
Cheerleaders, I should have known because he was, I had Mr. Muchika and he was all about bragging on cheerleaders.
I don't want to say names, but it was at least
Say names.
one guy. No,
Say
because I
names.
might be wrong.
So what?
And I had a crush on him.
So good if you're
All right.
wrong.
Keith Tracy.
Yep.
I think it was him that started calling me Lackey.
Lackey. Okay.
So Mr.
Better than
Muchika.
lactatey.
God, that would be a problem at being 16 and a senior and I was lactating. That would be a big problem.
Yes. Well,
So,
you get on a TV show if you did it now.
right? That would be a reality show. That would be way ahead of the time. Mr. Muchika had asked me why they call you Lackey. And I said, it's probably because of my last name, LaCarubba. And it's just a shortened version of Lackey. He says, do you know that Lackey means servant or slave? So what do you think made the yearbook? Hey, Lackey. Good luck, Lackey. Party at Lackey's. Good luck, Lackey.
Oh my
Hey,
goodness.
Lackey. Yes, I have my 1991 yearbook, and I did have good hair back then. I had like that Arsenio Hall triangle haircut.
Oh, of course you
going
did.
on. Yeah,
an acorn?
Huh?
Look like an acorn.
It kind of did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I always had good hair.
Always had good
I
hair.
actually, there was a lot of times in my senior year of high school, I would wait until my parents went to bed and I would mess with my hair, like try to like just do all these different colors or just like bleach it out. And I would end up with, Mary Kay pink. And now, of course, quarantine pink is cool. Everybody was doing like tangerine and pink and stuff. But when 1991, having hair color that was not like blonde or brown was just something was wrong with you.
Yes.
Something was seriously wrong with you. So I would go to hair with like go to school with tiger stripes. It was the best thing ever. Like real orange, like you're trying to do black and then you like strip it out and you have like orange tiger stripes in your hair because it hasn't lifted enough. Have you ever experienced? It sounds like
Yes.
she may have not ever bleached her own hair.
No,
I'm
I've not
sure.
bleached. What I did
You have not.
was the day after a
You
partial
weren't expecting
perm.
the conversation to take this left about like this. and stuff.
Actually, I didn't have an agenda. I knew you guys do your own thing. I was prepared to be a third wheel here. This is fine. Keep going. No, that's fine. Go.
partial perm, and then the next day,
Oh no!
I tried to highlight it.
Oh no!
So it
Did
turned.
you have hair left?
There was hair left, but it was a mullet. So, I mean, we're talking 1988.
So it was good for the times.
It was good for the times. Well, it really wasn't, though, because it was like, that circus candy, those orange little marshmallowy things, peanuts?
Yes, the peanuts.
That was the color.
Oh,
That was the color of
That
my
changes
hair.
everything.
like light neon.
Right.
Like the copy,
looking for
the
something.
copy
Neon.
paper, the neon on the copy paper. Yes. Oh.
Yes,
my.
that's what it was like.
Oh, I'm
it was
so
so
sorry.
bad.
I'm
it
so
was
sorry.
so bad. It hurt
Like
so
the,
bad.
Like
I said
the
I would
Hawaiian
never.
flowers on his chair over there.
I said I would never.
That's what I was
screw
going to be
with
sitting
my
in if
hair
you didn't bring
again.
a chair.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, then I would be like 8 feet tall over you.
That's true.
That wouldn't be. No, that's okay. I brought this right from my kitchen, but I did not walk down the stairs.
I
in these
cannot
shoes.
believe you brought a kitchen chair.
I thought you had like a chair like we have.
Well, no, I do. Okay, so I do have a
I got my
chair.
recliner in the back.
I have a beach chair. I have like a beach Adirondack, but it would have been like me, like leaning back, like I was in a lowrider, and that wouldn't have been. Well, no, because it's just like I would have been leaning back and looking like no.
So no.
No, I wanted to kind of sit up nice and respectful and ladylike, and be like actually here. So this is.
You want me to hold it for a second so you can?
No,
I can show
that's
you?
okay. I got it. Oh, you're a sweetheart and an angel. I don't want the camera on me anyway. But
It
I'm
is
trying to
on
tell
you.
People, well, it is now because I'm like telling
Of course, I was
people
going to
that
show.
I'm sitting up
I
in
was
the
going to
chair.
give them the whole thing.
Well, I wasn't going to be like this in the chair.
Well, you should be. Why not?
Why?
You are not looking now. The thing she doesn't want to do, she just did on Facebook Live.
I know, right?
No.
Okay,
No,
I'm making
here.
another
You know
drink.
what?
Kim's gonna make another
Hang
drink.
on a
I'm
second.
making another
Can you
drink.
Can you do me a favor and take some of mine?
Okay.
Take some of mine.
Okay, well, she's not going to drink
just-
any of it.
You have
I'm
to-
No, I
pretty sure.
will drink some of it. Just don't
No.
do it near his box. That's all.
Well, hey now, it's got to be a better way to say that.
Near the electric equipment.
Right.
Is that better? That's
What?
what I'm.
No, I was making a
I know.
dirty
you are.
joke, but whatever.
Dad jokes, okay.
Dad jokes.
Here's a good one.
What?
I actually said this at a fashion show. I was so nervous. I DJ. Okay, my first DJ gig. Well, it really wasn't even a DJ.
Mike.
She was the DJ.
You were the rapper.
I was a rapper.
Right. 2 weeks
she was
ago,
a rapper.
down in Marina Bay, she joined me in DJing a fashion show for first responders down in Marina Bay for Denise. And I've been DJing her fashion shows for, my gosh, over 10 years now, all around Boston. And this is the first time that she asked me to MC it. So she's always had, a newscaster from, Channel 4, Channel 5, Channel 7 with some gorgeous goddess who's a newscaster to come and do her shows for her. Always well-spoken, eloquent, put together. And DJing it in and of itself is a lot of work because if somebody doesn't miss their mark or if she's changing a look or a feel or a theme with her clothes, the music has to change that. So I brought her in for the first time, and I was so nervous being on the microphone. And again, you are much more, well-versed on the microphone.
Well-versed? Is that what you said? Well-versed. Okay.
It's
Is that not a compliment?
I guess,
No, it totally is. Here's the thing.
relaxed. It's not a confidence issue. It's just being relaxed and being talk. I mean, she's very. She's been
It is
very
hard.
clearly talking on the
I
microphone.
have to say,
I have to say, when I first, a couple of years ago, when I decided, okay, and I went to a seminar on marketing and social media, and at that time they said the best thing you can do is videos. So I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to do Facebook Live. I don't want to. I'm scared. It's gonna be bad. In radio, they only have to, really hear you. You can go in your pajamas, which I did many times.
Yeah.
And now here it's like, oh, hear and see, and I'm nervous about it. And I remember, the first couple times just huffing and puffing when I was walking, and my camera was all over the place.
There's
and
so many factors that go into it.
right. And then when I decided, God, just be yourself. Just totally just be yourself, which it's hard sometimes to be yourself, but that's what I did.
I like to be Frank Landers.
Okay. If that
Frank
works for
Landers
you.
is a cool dude.
Okay. Is someone I should know or no?
Yeah, he's someone everybody should know.
Everybody
What?
knows Frank Landers. Frank Landers is the E.F. Hutton of people.
That's nice.
Yeah, I like that.
That is nice.
Didn't know that.
Yes, yes.
Interesting.
Stoneham, we got some cool Stoneham kitties.
I was going to say
Cool Stoneham cats and kittens.
That's right.
cats and kittens.
Cool Stoneham cats and kittens.
How's the nail, Kim?
Nails better.
I know she stopped working so diligently. You must be happy with it.
Right? It's fine. I'll survive.
Ain't nothing but a chicken wing. Nothing but a chicken wing.
What can you say?
On a
I
screen.
don't know. Yeah. So we are she and I have been doing, with the weekly podcast is really trying to get our brand out. Not only do we have our own individual entities and our own, je ne sais quoi that we bring to a client, but we are strong together. We do very well together. We play well off of one another. We find that we are learning a lot of musical interchanges and tastes and
Plays
styles.
stuff that I
ours.
would never think to play.
Which is
I
what
don't know
I
if
was
she
shocked.
thinks the same about me, but when I've worked with her, I'm like, wow, I wouldn't even ever thought.
Pick one song that she played that
You
were-
had some old
The hell?
school, old Rat Packy stuff at the fashion show.
Oh, okay. So what she's explaining is before the fashion show.
Is this woman-splaining? Is that what you're doing right now? Woman-splaining?
Is it?
Womansplaining.
I think it is.
No, so Rat
Chick
Pack
womansplaining.
genre, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so she had
Sinatra.
some Rat Pack style music in the.
Oh, there was. It not only was it Rat Pack, but it was electro swing.
Yeah.
Woogie, woogie, woogie. Wait.
Yes. So electro swing is if you took a song from
Sounds
say
kinky. I'm
it's
in.
a remix. It's a remix of a Frank Sinatra song with like not EDM, but just a lot of like synthesizers and stuff over it, like modernizing a Frank Sinatra song or a Billie Holiday song. There were a couple of remix albums that came out several years ago. The Verb Songbook remix.
Yeah.
So it might be something you might even hear like in a museum or something like that. Or it's
A very old museum. Am I right, Kim?
Right.
well, the originals. But it's also a song that you recognize, and it's just treated a little bit differently. It's dressed a little bit differently.
Elvis, a
chords are
little less conversation. They
Bingo, bingo. Yes.
Bingo,
Yes.
that was
XL.
the bingo,
Played that one in a
Yes,
long
little
time.
less. That's a great song.
But that's in my cocktail file.
From the Vegas TV show.
Your
That's
cocktail
right.
file? How many files do you have, Kim?
I have a lot of files.
I believe it.
Actually,
Yes, we do. We make new files each client. Really.
We use similar gear, similar software. I have taken and separated my music sort of by how a wedding would shake down the timeline. So there might be one file that's all arrival music, or there might be one file that's all cocktail music. And so in those files are songs that I know that I've used, that are tried and true, that I can use over and over again. But typically, most couples will choose their own music. And they will say, this is what we want to hear during cocktail. This is what we want to hear during arrival. I always think that
It's a
you should
compromise.
give the DJ the musical discretion during the dance portion of the evening.
Creative license.
You can love as much music as you want, and you can fit all of those favorite songs in during dinner or cocktail. But if you're someone who loves, say, alternative music,
to
and you
dance.
want that to be on the dance floor, and you want people to come out and dance to that, it is not
It's a dance floor killer.
going to happen.
It's not gonna work.
Because your aunts and uncles aren't going to know that. It's going to be strange to them, and then they won't dance. And that's the worst thing that can happen is if you're doing a wedding and nobody comes out on the dance floor. You want a full dance floor. So let me play what I know
That's why they're paying you.
to be tried and true, things
True,
that are
yeah.
going to work
They-
every time.
They have to trust your repertoire, but we also work with the client to determine, what they like and most importantly what they don't like.
Yep.
You can have a list of 10, 15 songs or genres or artists.
Hey, I was wondering if we were going to get a train. It's going to go right behind. It's going to go right behind us.
Really?
Yeah. There it goes.
Riding the rail.
I hope there's no one on the rails, and that's why they're beeping the horn so much.
They
Hobos.
Not
I used to work with
not navigating.
I used to work with a radio engineer who was also a hobo. He rode the rails in Boston. I'll name no names, but
Wow.
little FYI.
engineer, huh?
Engineer.
It's ironic.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Kind of narrows it down.
Yeah.
Well, wow.
Yeah.
Toot toot. Does it go by all the time?
Yeah, all day long. I usually have one an episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, usually, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be an
It's your
episode
trademark.
without the train.
It's your
True.
trademark.
It
Maybe you
is.
should
That's
change
what,
the
that's what
name
people. That's
to.
what people. To what?
I don't know.
Chatting with the train horn.
One guy training.
One guy training.
No.
No, no.
No.
Gives off the wrong impression. You just had a visual. I didn't like it. You could see her face.
Dude.
She totally had a visual. I saw that.
No. You don't want to talk about men and trains, okay?
Okay, I won't.
No. It's just.
Is there a caboose involved in this?
Is there a
There's
story?
alcohol involved right now.
Oh,
If there's a caboose involved, that starts to go way, way down the rabbit hole. We
What?
don't want to do that.
yes,
right
we
now.
do. Now we absolutely do. Now that's all I want to talk.
The
Look at
look
Kim.
on Kim's
wants
face
in.
right now.
Kim's face is priceless.
All right. Here we go with
Here
full
we go.
disclosure. My first year at college, 1991,
No
Bridgewater
story
State.
like starts like that is good.
OMG.
And it was the first, literally the third, I think probably my third day there, and I walked in on my roommate.
Getting
Getting
trained.
it on.
It was unfortunate.
Getting it on.
Was it a
was.
5-car
Hear another-
train? Was it a
I hear
3-car
another one.
train?
It was like half the football team in the room.
So a 6.5.
Wow.
It was
so it
bad.
was like a.
It was and there was it was like standing room only viewpoints, and I was like, the bitch didn't leave the sock on the doorknob.
Yo, that's woman code right there.
Yeah. Well,
The
isn't that a guy
bitch
code too?
didn't
Of course
leave
it
the
is, but-
sock.
Yeah,
In your
that's
case.
just code.
Doorknob.
That's just good
Okay,
roommate
hold
code.
the phone.
code.
So
Joan.
I hear. So you
I
said
think-
The
train.
bitch
I think-
didn't leave the sock on the door, meaning
Don't
She
come in.
didn't
don't come
ask
in.
Don't come in.
You put a sock on the doorknob when you're a college roommate. It means don't come in.
It means keep walking.
I
Yep.
thought you were talking about putting a condom on. I'm sorry.
And she really thinks there's a train in the place, by the way. I don't know if she,
Right? I thought that was a train.
It kind of was.
but
A train, a sex train.
A human
is what
train.
you're saying. A human.
Would you like another drink?
No, I'm fine.
Ruckles.
I'm fine.
Yes. No, I'm just when we're talking about word association, and it's just sad that.
And I knew we. That's that's what was in my head when I said
so
she
it-
had a visual.
Yep.
And I don't know why because
Yep.
I honestly wasn't referring to that.
Vinny Rossetti is watching.
Vincenzo.
How you doing, sweetie pie? What's going on? All these good people from Stoneham. Yes, I'm very sorry that the word train is associated with something potentially negative because my innocence was just ripped away.
Oh, yeah,
I really
definitely.
was. I was an honor roll. I was an honor
Notice she didn't say
student.
true story before she started this one. See? Read
No,
between the lines, Kim.
Right?
no. I
So tell us how your innocence was taken away that day.
It's Stoneham High.
no. Hey, listen. I was a virgin all throughout Stoneham High, so I was as clean as they come.
Really?
Well, or
The
not.
only reason why I lost virginity before I went to college was because I did not want to go to college a virgin. That is a true story.
That's the thing, huh?
I guess.
You didn't
It was very-
want to
Yeah.
go to college a virgin.
Correct. That's a true story. That's very true.
And then next thing you know, she's getting
And
trained.
it was horrible
Just
too.
kidding. What was? Oh, the.
Like,
Well, I tried
you
my
wanted to
best.
be able
What do
to
you want me
walk
to do?
in the college doors and say, "Hey, I'm not a virgin anymore."
Yeah.
Hey, I'm ready, everybody.
The wheels are greased. Let's go.
I was not the sharpest tool in the shed. I was smart. I was book smart, but I was not life smart.
Not sexy.
I don't want to say I was correct. I was coddled. I don't want to say I was coddled, but I was insulated. I was protected.
Which one was it?
Kind of both.
All of the above.
you know.
Coddled, insulated,
Yeah.
Trained.
No.
attached at the teat.
The teeth.
Yeah. No.
Show
No,
us
I
the
moved
teeth.
out. I moved out when I went down to Bridgewater State. I moved in the dorms. Yeah.
Okay.
My parents were happy to see
You're
me
close
go.
to Bridgewater State right now.
Really?
Yeah, Abington, yeah.
Oh.
East Bridgewater is the
What's
next
the good
town.
venue
Okay.
down here? Sapphire.
Charlie Horse?
No, it's in the Sapphire group.
I thought Sapphire's like, is that a strip club?
No, Sapphire Estate and Eastwood.
Yes, they own event places. Yes, you're correct. Yes. We're just being a little cackly right now.
Go be cackling. That's
No,
that's
just,
why you're here.
No, you're like Sapphire. We're like strip clubs.
no,
we're
no,
like,
no.
you know.
You
Yes,
know what we've
the Sapphire group does own event venues.
And what we have
correct.
tried to do when we have done our Two Chicks Chattin' is to give
The
love
tea.
to
The tower?
places
Tea.
that we would have worked at, or we have worked at, or we would like to work at.
Thank you for bringing the conversation back, because I was thinking about that, like what our mission is and what we're doing, which is really we're not talking
She went
about
from missionary to mission.
Trains. Oh my God.
Trains.
Hey, you open the door. I got to step in.
Trains.
We'll come around to it again. Keep going. What's your mission?
What's a good song by Train? Word association.
When I think train,
I saw them in concert.
Train.
You did?
Yeah, they opened for Hall & Oates.
No, I
years
wouldn't
ago.
You
think
saw
of the
Hall
band.
& Oates.
I saw Hall & Oates a bunch of times.
You're a
Okay,
rich
they're
girl,
between Hall &
and
Oates
you've
and
gone
Earth, Wind
too
& Fire
far,
in
but
Chicago,
you
who
know it
always
don't
come around in
matter
summer.
anyway.
I always miss their show.
You
'Cause
can
I'm always
rely
DJing
on your
a wedding
own
someplace.
man's money. You can rely
Kim's a rich girl.
on your man's money. It's a bitch girl, and you've gone too far, but you know it anyway.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I had front row seats to Hall & Oates. Well,
This is,
front row to Hall & Oates.
I think I can, Kim will back me up in saying that this is the first summer, fall season in a good 10, 12 years that I have had literally nothing. But what's good, because I'm able to spend more time with friends and family, and most importantly, work on myself.
I was telling Kim earlier in our 10 minutes without you that the COVID
Well, you
is
were
the
listening to me in the drive around in the parking lot.
Yeah, I was yelling to Kim because your car was so loud. Yeah. COVID is the reason that we're in this garage right now, because I got back so much money from stuff that I had planned for the summer. I made a killing. I know I just got my money back, but it was paid for, a long time ago. Gotcha. So everything came back. I went, wow, okay, let's do this, girls.
So what did you have, like, was it just like projects, or what did you have like planned?
No, it was concerts. It was I rented. I was going to go see. I was going to the Hampton Beach Casino to see Mario Speedwagon. What's REO? Before anybody says me.
Riding the storm out,
But
waiting for the fallout.
you got to go with Ro. That is that Stevie Nicks and Kevin Cronin had a baby. What was that?
No,
Collins,
I just
no.
no.
Kim Collins.
I'm just silly when it
But
comes to music.
You're right. It is something that we just like. I miss going. There's a place in Cambridge that I love going to. It's called Toad, not the Toad, but just Toad.
And the Wet Sprocket?
It's probably Toad the Wet Sprocket.
Yeah.
That was another concert I saw down at
See?
the Pavilion. But I swear that
The train open for him?
no, Train did not open for him.
Train,
Who do you open for Toad?
train.
Who do you open for Toad? Toad the Wet Sprocket.
Hootie and the Blowfish.
Toad the
Hootie and Toad. Hootie
Toad
and
the
Toad.
bar in Central Square in Cambridge is maybe twice as big as this garage. It's very small.
I think it's a half.
But it's got live music 7 nights a week. I got to take you there because it's phenomenal. And they have like older guys that rock out for hours. They usually have 2 bands a night there. But if anybody hears
they
this, it's great though. It's a really awesome place to go see live music and just hang out, get a beer. They have really good burgers and they got steak fries. I'm a sucker for steak fries. You could like completely annihilate me, but if you bring me steak fries and Reese's, I'll forgive you.
Whoa, note to self.
When I was growing up, if I ever got in trouble with my mother, no, mind you, I was an angel.
course.
I was an angel. It was my
You were
sister who
coddled.
was a little miscreant. Yes, I was coddled, yes. But if I ever got into an argument with my mother, all I had to do was go to Gloucester Seafood.
Oh yeah,
And get,
Sunnyhurst.
well, here's the thing. Yep, go to Gloucester Seafood next to Sunnyhurst and get a big bowl of clam chowder. But then I'd have to go to Kelly's in Revere Beach because one of them
It's
would
a
be
long way
more.
to go to suck up.
For my mother, she was worth every penny. Because all I
Why'd
had to
you
do
get
was
in trouble
put
in
it
the
down and
first
stuff.
place?
Well, sneak out, come in.
She was so innocent, though, Kim.
I was. With a haircut like this?
That's true. Good
No,
point.
I didn't have, no. This was also because I've always wanted to just cut my hair like this, always. And now since I had absolutely no DJ gigs, I was like, yes. I
Well,
want.
what if you did? Do you think there would be a negative? Do you think they wouldn't hire you? Let's not hire this freak.
I was thinking about that. I truly was thinking about this. Yes. I did think that. But this is me. It's just... It doesn't take away it doesn't take away who I am as a talented and skilled professional person.
Yes.
It's
Here.
yes, that's right. Do you want me to hold that while you do that? You know what? I'm going to do? I'm going to put this down on this.
Your phone.
That's down.
Okay.
And then you're going to put that.
Is that My second.
Oh,
All right,
poured the whole thing out?
we're back from the pee break.
Well, thank you for letting us use your
And thank you. It was a pleasure meeting Bonnie.
Yes.
She's very sweet, yes.
She doesn't exist on the podcast, guys.
Mrs. Noonan.
Stop saying that because she doesn't exist on the podcast. I told you that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, I had said that I've got no qualms about peeing in the bushes. Coming from the good old Midwest, it was nothing.
We cover one another. I would have stood in front
Pop
of you.
and
No one would
squat.
have seen that. Well, especially
Facebook Live would have.
No, I would not have. I would have spared them.
I would have done it.
You seen one butt, you seen them all. But you know, yeah. I'm suffering from Kardashianitis. They don't need to see that.
Oh, that's big buttus. Big.
And I cannot lie. You other brothers can deny.
see?
So when I walk in,
See?
That's kind of one of my go-tos. I got a little
Baby Got Back?
90s jam.
you
set
cannot go
that I
wrong with
like.
90s music at all. No. Shout out
Baby
to
Got Back,
97.7. I'm not getting any money from this, but
Poison.
they're the best. Yes. Best throwback station
no, Poison,
ever.
Belle Biv DeVoe, not
It-
Poison the band.
Nothing wrong with Poison the band.
Well, no, but you know what?
Why would you want Poison the band?
I would bet you money.
Anything from Belle Biv DeVoe. Ralph Tresvant, Bobby Brown. Johnny Gill.
Johnny Gill.
Yes.
Brett Michaels.
Can I give you a fist bump on that?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Johnny Gill the Floor, one of my favorite
Bet you on
songs.
Brett Michaels.
You gonna bet us on Brett Michaels?
I'm gonna bet you on Brett Michaels
She was on
That-
Rock of Love.
What if I?
that he.
She was on Rock of Love.
No, it was not. My God, no. No, that his bandana has hair attached to it, and then it's like one piece that you just put on his head because I can guarantee
I think that's Hulk
you
Hogan.
that he
Hulk
does
Hogan.
not
Hulk
have
Hogan.
long hair.
No, I agree.
No,
I
no,
agree.
no.
And
He
it
has
looks
that
real
sewn
fake.
in.
So, and I never really liked him.
He has pretty eyes, though.
What's that?
He has very nice eyes. But
You know,
eyes don't
I
make
would-
the
I
man.
would just, I never
I
went
watched
for-
Rock of Love religiously.
Oh my God! Of course you did.
I did.
You know who's in that? You know? Have you seen? Well, I don't know what the show's called, but it's that Tiffany.
Tiffany Flavor. Yeah, Tiffany. New
She was in
York.
Flavor.
Pollard.
She's New York.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
From
Oh,
that's not Rock of
Don't
Love.
mess
That's
with
something else.
Tiffany.
No, but
No, Flavor of Love.
that's what it was.
Flavor of Love. She was on Flavor of Love. Rock
No,
of
not
Love
Tiffany.
was Brett.
Not Tiffany. Not Tiffany the
Oh
singer.
God, no! Oh God, no! That way far. I'll have to Google a picture of Tiffany New York Pollard for you. You may not know Tiffany. No, Tiffany. For those of us in the reality TV loving world, is a very loud personality.
Oh, wait a second.
This is coming from Denise LaCarubba. I won't bam boom.
Yes. That's lackey to you,
Lackey.
George. That's lackey to you, George. Yes. You know, I do have to admit. Did you? For all of our friends who are listening, 89, 90, 91. Did you have any type of reunion last year or anything like that?
Yeah, I didn't go to it. It was held at. I'm gonna mess it up. I want to say it was held at Tulip in Redstone. I want to say that, but I can't.
Oh, it's like
vouch
Reading or
for it.
something like
Stone.
that?
It's in Stone. It's in
Oh.
Redstone now. I could be wrong on the venue.
Oh, in Redstone. Oh, that's right. You know what?
I think it was there. I'm not sure.
There is one in Redstone. It's near where Keldor used to be.
Yeah, well,
yep.
yeah.
That's right. I haven't been in Stoneham since 2000, but for 91, I've put it together the last few years, like the last, geez. Where were we? We were at that 781 place where there's a bistro. Used to be a sushi place.
Oh, okay.
It was like a Midas before that or something.
You haven't been to Stone
Before
in
that, it was
20
like a
years?
Lords and Ladies. No, so my parents sold sold the house I was born and raised in on Rose Lane
Yeah.
in 2000, and then moved down to Lighthouse Point, Florida at that time.
Nice.
And I moved into an apartment in Newtonville, I believe, and then I moved to Belmont shortly thereafter, and I've been in Belmont for 18 years now.
Are they the Belmont Marauders?
Correct.
I thought so. I wasn't
Yes. And I do not live anywhere near where the Romney house is. That's like another tax bracket of Belmont. That's Belmont Hill. That's where like the big Mormon angel is overlooking Route 2. Like Belmont Hill is up there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the difference between Beverly and Beverly Farms. It's a few zeros at the end.
Or Pepperidge and Pepperidge Farms.
Yeah. Yes, that's so true. I forgot about that. Yeah, but I'm hoping that we have some type of reunion next year. It was kind of cool. We had our reunion the last time because it was just like we took the back room of that restaurant and people were just kind of flowing in and out.
Yeah.
91 was only about 150 people. I think we really didn't have a very big class, but it was really cool to see people just kind of coming in. And still, it's just like you. Like there's a lot of people in my class that just have not aged. I'm like, what type of witchcraft are you doing?
do that voodoo that you do.
Well, and these people have like kids too. And I mean, it just bless you, whatever you're doing. You know, if you have kids and it just must be the love of your life, because everybody in my class, it just really haven't aged. Like I saw people and I'm like, holy shit, dude. Are you like in a hyperbaric chamber at night or something
What,
like
you
that?
think you have?
Yes.
Drastically?
No, not much. Not much. But in saying that comparison is the thief of joy, I just see a lot of other people my age who look a lot more rusted than I do. And I don't have anything. I don't have kids. I'm not married anymore, so I don't know what my excuse is.
Well, is it gene? I mean, because I don't think, by the way,
genetics, maybe.
Let me tell you, I don't think that you've aged much.
Thank you.
I mean, you know,
I must have a really shitty circus mirror in my house then. That
maybe,
could be it, yeah.
I'm like that. Yeah, like this. I can't. I'm doing a visual, but it's not working. Oh, another snort, Kim.
Oh
Kim.
God. Are we doing drinks when I snort? Cheers. She's doing a drink when I snort. Okay. Well,
rules.
you're gonna get drunk in about 3 minutes.
God willing.
Because when I laugh, I snort a lot. It's just one of those things. Yes. No, I think it's just when you're obviously when you're happy and you find your purpose and you find your joy, nothing's considered work.
See, I thought it was when you're happy and you know it, you clap your hands. See, Kim's happy. Oh, everyone's happy. Everyone's happy.
Amen. Know it and you really want to.
That's when you
it.
trail off, Kim.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands and then stomp your feet and toot your horn.
Toot your horn. Shake your butt.
Toot your horn.
Pee in a bush.
Peanut bush. Yes. Oh my God. Here's another story. You're taking me way back here. This has nothing to do with Two Chicks.
Is this true or not?
It is a true story. It was the night of the Senior Rocks. This drink, yeah, the night that we were up painting the Senior Rocks.
Does Kim know about that?
No.
Well, make sure that everyone
all right,
knows.
you know what? I'm not even going to talk about the story.
Why?
I'm a little bit older than Dee.
Why? Because of Kim? Kim, can you
She's
step outside
not
for a
that much
second?
older. No.
I'm teasing.
No. One of the things that she and I are really really want to do in our new collaboration together is to support other female artists and other female musicians and other female photographers and people in the wedding industry and people in the entertainment industry in and of itself. I just personally rebranded my website. My website is djdeja.com. I have a new URL to ladydjmusic.com. And what I would like to do is to support, uplift, and highlight other female professionals in our industry.
You sound like a bra.
Really?
You want to uplift, highlight. Yeah. Isn't that what bras do?
Lift and separate.
Yeah, lift and separate.
Call me maiden form, baby.
Maiden form. No, I call you Bali.
If I had my...
Victoria's Secret.
Really?
Those are the best bras, FYI. They're expensive.
They're tough to get off, too, though. Wait, was that allowed?
I wouldn't know. It was so funny. My 15-year-old said to me, "That was the best hack you ever showed me, Mom." And I'm like, "What?"
Hack what?
That you take and you put the clips of your bra in the front, in between your boobs, right?
Yeah.
And you hook it,
Yeah.
and then you slide it all the way around and put the straps on.
Wow.
Wait. I knew that.
Yeah, all the time.
Ow.
You're a little bit more blessed in the front than I am, okay?
3 kids.
If
I was never that big.
You know, I'm blessed in my butt. Like I always said, if I ever had my butt put into my chest, I'd make like, Ally McBeal look like Anna Nicole Smith. It would just be big cups runneth over.
You put the back of the bra in the
More
front,
than a
and
mouthful
you
is just
hook
a
it.
waste. I'm sorry. Right? More than a handful, more than a mouthful is just a waste. And as for this little, badunkadunk, it's not COVID-19. I like to call it interior redecorating.
Oh.
These are my new pillows. Put
These
your
are my new
head
pillows.
on my pillow and just relax.
That was the remix version.
You're very good at remixes.
Yeah. You know what I just love about 90s music? It's funny because you said those are your favorites.
I love 90s music.
I love every song.
I'm sorry.
Can I drop it right now?
You can do what you got to do. There it is. See, that's nice.
The gin and tonic is really hitting Kim right now.
Well, I love that type of music, though. Favorite song in the world? Favorite dance song?
Shannon, let the music play.
Boom, there
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry. I didn't give her the opportunity to answer her own question.
And I thought she would have known the answer too. So good for you for stepping in.
I'm glad that she.
We had our ribs together, and then we got to know each other even better as far as what our musical tastes were and what our favorite songs were, and
That was fun.
and what's my favorite band?
What is this? The Newlywed Game?
Oh no. I know this. I know this.
You can't give hints.
Bad.
Yeah, well, if you keep giving those hints.
That is bad. It's bad. It's so.
What?
Even George is like, what are you
Yosemite
talking
Sam?
about?
What?
I was like, that's not Led Zeppelin.
Sam.
It's not Rick Derringer.
Okay, no.
It's not Rick Derringer because we know.
Rock and roll
Hoochie Coo.
was a funny story
Yes.
that we told last weekend. How music makes memories. Okay.
Wait, what's this band? Go back to the band.
Tuesday's gone.
George, do you know? George,
I'd
George,
like to know.
I'm clueless.
Okay, do I have to give it to you?
I think you might have to.
Wait, whoa.
Wait.
No, I want another hint.
Okay.
You said no hints.
Oh, that's true.
All right, well, all right, give us one more hint. One more hint. She's been singing like 4 songs, and we're still like.
Well, then if I say this one, you guys.
And you know what? When you
Sweet home.
oh Jesus, I didn't know.
That's really your favorite band?
Skinner?
Skinner, Jethro Tull, AC/DC.
Okay.
Did they sing Freebird?
AC/DC
No, I meant Skinner. I meant Skinner.
Oh, I love it. Maybe AC/DC did cover Freebird like on a B-side.
AC/DC 8-track tape in high school, Back in Black, best album ever.
Wow.
You badass bitch.
Bad. Two Babs blabbing.
Led Zeppelin 3?
What about 4?
4. 4's good.
What about Coda?
Mothership.
What you need a Coda for?
How about the whole friggin' just discography of Led Zeppelin?
Yep. I would agree with Led Zeppelin.
I used Led Zeppelin. I taught belly dance for many moons.
I remember that. I saw that on Facebook. Not that
You did?
But I knew about it. Yes.
Yes.
You promoted it.
I was like 45 pounds heavier when I was teaching belly dance too. Go figure.
Well, you have to have
I was a
belly
big
to teach
girl.
it, don't you? I mean,
Yeah, but
but I do remember
not
that.
a
Though.
big.
I honestly do.
Thank you. Yeah, it was fun.
When we worked at ZLX, there were Led Zeppelin songs that I had never heard before. I'd never heard Hot Dog.
Well, those were mostly B-side stuff.
Right, because they had
They were not commercially
the
released.
first half hour of the 7 o'clock hour. They do like just all Led Zeppelin tunes, and I'm like, what the?
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
remember, and what was the other one? It starts with B, and it was a funny name like Braunschweiger or
You know, there's someone yelling at the podcast right now. They know what it
I
is.
know what it is. I know what it is.
Like, you
losing
two
your
stupid
kids,
bitches, you don't even know what the music
the
is.
music you're talking about.
I could be looking at my phone and I could look it up right now, but I'm gonna no.
I'm not sure that I know who your favorite band is.
You know, Led Zeppelin, really.
Really? Okay.
I mean, a band.
Favorite song?
Band is Led
Favorite
Zeppelin.
dance song?
Favorite dance song?
Shannon, let the music play. Dance song.
Oh, sorry. That I just can't get enough of. Probably Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that's always a go-to dance floor starter for me. I cue it up to where he goes,
Woo! Said no one ever.
and then start. That's a perfect dance floor starter. But you know what I said I was going to do? We talked about this. That instead of trying to start a dance floor with a bunch of upbeat tunes that people might not be ready for because they're just finishing dinner, start off with The Way You Look Tonight, At Last, something like that, some rap pack,
Well-
get them out there dancing as couples, and then bust into something upbeat. And you've already got people on the dance floor, okay? And now if you play something like September or Don't Stop Till You Get Enough,
They're there.
keep them there.
They're there.
So
Give him
just a
Prince.
thought.
Give him
Just a
Prince.
thought.
Just give him Prince.
Just give them.
Give 'em
Well, you know,
Prince.
okay. Can I tell you something?
You don't
Do you
have to
think?
be beautiful.
I Want to Be Your Lover is my favorite Prince tune.
Yes.
And B, I don't think the people out here get Prince.
Sexy MF.
I don't hardly ever play it because when I've played Prince, people are like,
Darling Nikki.
"What are you doing? What is your problem? Why are you playing Prince?"
Let's play Darling Nikki at a wedding.
Right?
Oh, God.
So I think that
Shotgun
after a while
weddings.
you get to know what works and what doesn't work.
Yes,
and I found
yes.
that- I mean, if you were playing
And
a wedding
that's-
in Minnesota and you played Prince, boom, you'd be all set.
Right,
But
but-
I don't think mass works.
You'd be
I could wrong.
surprised. You'd be surprised. It really kind of all depends on the. You're playing to your crowd. You're playing to your crowd, and you're right. There's
I haven't
certain-
had any Prince crowds. I guess that's what I'm saying.
Okay. But this also, I love you. But this also, you know what it is? This goes back to how we were saying, she's surprised with some of the stuff that I play, and I'm surprised with some of the stuff she plays. It's knowing your client and reading your crowd right. I mean, we could be, DJing a wedding. We could be doing a political fundraiser. We can be doing a fashion show. We can be doing a charity, fundraiser event where the music is just the atmosphere. It's the oxygen in the room. especially if you're doing a charity event, it could be your contributions can help that become an exceptionally successful event, because people will be more involved in what's at hand, and they would be more willing to give because they know, you're playing the right music. And even if someone's talking to someone else, you can see like their head nodding, or they're tapping their foot, or maybe they're like shaking their hips or something. So they're present, but you're also kind of like that little earworm playing those songs that they really like. And that's what makes them even more involved. Like, sometimes people like, gotta go, gotta get the sitter, gotta do that. Or people like sky out early. But then you have the people that stay all friggin' night because you've given them that opportunity where that 5 hours just flew by. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe I've been here that long. Because they're enjoying themselves. You lose track of time. The music is the atmosphere and the oxygen in the room. And it allows people to really be themselves. Because some people, especially now with the pandemic, I find that a lot of people have a lot more social anxiety. And who does want to be around a lot of other people in a crowded room? I mean, personally for me, all of my weddings have been canceled. All of my events. My next wedding is, my next event is April. Yeah. I don't have any events until April right now. I'm very hopeful that I will get holiday parties. Historically speaking, I think both of us have received corporate gigs after the first of the year, because there's a lot of people, a lot of companies in the hospitality industry that are busy. Well, maybe not this year, but in the past they've been busy through the holiday season. So they wait until after the first of the year, January, on a Sunday night, to have a holiday party for themselves. And that is that's something that's been going on for us for many years, because the industry is like this. Today I think both of us had weddings booked today. 10-3? Mm-hmm. I had a wedding booked today at the Lyman Estate, actually. The Lyman Estate. And it actually got booked for 10-3 next year, or 10-4 next year. I remember that because it got switched.
So 10-10-20 was the most highly coveted wedding date after 8-18-18. So people really believe in the power of numbers. Mm-hmm. And so 10-10-20 was the most highly coveted date of the year. Everybody wanted to get married on that date. Yep. And my 10-10 couple decided that they were going to have me quickly marry them, which I did on the site of the Bunker Hill Monument. And they're going to then again get married and have a party next July.
Oh, wait, so that the Bunker Hill was supposed to be today, was supposed to be the formal wedding, and they just moved?
But today would have, next Saturday would have been Charlestown Navy Yard, was where they were getting married. So what I did today when I came over here was just very last minute. Couple reached out to me and said our wedding was supposed to be in November. It's not going to happen. We've had a horrible time with our venue. We decided we wanted to get married at Brewster Gardens in Plymouth, and could you come and marry us? And so I met them here in lovely Abington, and they're from Halifax. We met. We went over how a ceremony would go down. They're going to have 2 people that will do readings or prayers, and they'll also involve their dog in the ceremony. So
that's just the nature of how the events are flowing, is that, they're downsizing, but I have to give Kim credit because she is evolving in this pandemic industry. The wedding industry, the event industry, the gig industry has changed so provocatively because of the pandemic that, like she had said before, you see these DJs that are just like doing mix shows with their GoFundMe and their Venmo, like, hey, what are you, a monkey?
Well, nothing against
No, it isn't, but that's just not us.
I wouldn't do that.
See, no matter what you do, no matter what you're talking about, the bottom line is, if done right, the rhythm's going to get you.
DeBarge.
No matter what.
Rhythm is
DeBarge. That's not DeBarge.
It's
Hold Your Roll system.
Hold your roll.
That's Gloria.
Oh.
That's Miami Sound Machine.
Gloria,
it's okay. I still love you.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's the gin.
It's the gin.
It's okay.
It's the gin talking.
DeBarge is good though.
Gin and
DeBarge
juice.
is good. That's rhythm of the night.
Rhythm of the night. How about there's a meeting in the ladies' room.
Climax.
You know who
yes.
used to do that? It was Vinnie Peruzzi, the late great, and he would go into the rack in the bathroom and he would broadcast from the ladies' room. It was hysterical. I used to fill in.
Are you kidding?
No, I used to fill in for him because he was a master roller coaster rider. So he would ride roller coasters around the world. He had invested money
and done well, so he didn't have to worry about money. And he would ride roller coasters around the world, and I would fill in for him occasionally when it was called the Rack. And one of the things he did was it was a live broadcast the whole night from this place called the Rack. And
The Rack in Boston.
yeah.
So how does,
that I
that put
DJ'd
him, how does
at.
that put him in the women's bathroom?
Got a meeting in the lake.
So wait a minute. I gotta. This is actually news to me because I DJ'd at the Rack for a few years right before they closed.
Yep.
Shout out to everybody at the Rack.
Yep.
They're
This
not
was
there anymore.
actually, huh?
They're not
No,
there
it's the
anymore.
Hard Rock. It's the Hard Rock. Yeah.
The Hard Rack. This is what
Hard
she calls it.
Rack.
The money
Can I
grab.
tell you a funny story about
Please.
that? It wasn't funny, but it was kind of sad, but
Then
it was
no.
kind of weird. Okay. So I'm over there. I'm filling in.
I'm still blown away by the fact that Vinnie Peruzzi was doing broadcasts in the ladies' room at the Rack.
It was the Eagle. I was at the station called the Eagle, and
there's that bathroom like at the end that had like the big door. It was supposed to be like handicapped, but
She would
it
know
was
that. She goes
anything.
outside
It was
the bush.
anything
I go
but
outside in the
handicapped
bush,
in that
so I wouldn't
bathroom.
know.
Right there in Faneuil Hall.
No. So listen. So
Because
this
that's
is
like
what
an end
happens.
cap in the.
I'm standing there.
Wow, Kim.
And I am getting ready to probably go on the air. And
Okay.
the whole show was live from the Rack.
Yeah.
So you had your log in front of you. You knew it was going to be played. You could front sell, back sell, all of that. And I'm standing outside, and here comes a guy that is dressed like in a poncho,
Frankenstein?
doesn't have any front teeth,
Oh no.
and just looks like an absolute vagrant. And he comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, Kim, it's me." And he told me who he was, and I knew that he was a longtime listener.
Ah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. Right away, when security saw this guy kind of swooping in, they were like, "Do you want us to take him away?" And I'm like, how could I say take him away? That would make me look like a really pretentious asshole, right? Like, oh, here's this guy that's listened to me for years, and now I'm saying, you know what, because you look like a vagrant and you don't have any front teeth, I've got to send you away.
But there is something to be said in that you and I both having multiple years in radio background is
It was
that
Bill
we
from
have.
Beverly, wasn't it? I knew it. I knew it. Goddamn Bill.
Actually, no, it was Flea Market Dave.
First
That's how
time,
he
long
went.
time. Flea Market
Flea
Dave?
Market Dave. Flea
But
Market
it is,
Dave.
but you do have to admit that it is a little scary because we all had our, I did overnights at ZLX for many, many years, and I filled in for Al Cole. And
Alcohol?
Well, actually, his followers were called alcoholics.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they really were. Now,
They'd be
Al
foolish
Cole,
not to be.
No, but Al Cole was a very unique
Was he
individual.
a very old soul?
You could say that.
I did.
You could say that.
did.
You did. You did. Yes,
Say it
he
again.
was a very unique soul. Very unique old
How do you
soul.
catch a unique rabbit?
You sneak up on him.
Dad joke, mom joke now.
No
Sorry.
shit.
My
I
dad
didn't
used to
tell my
tell that
dad joke from before. Why don't ants get COVID?
No, you were going to say, what's a hippie's wife?
I said that right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you call? Well, thanks, Kim. She just ruined it for me. Can
No, what do you call a hippie's wife?
I finish my first joke
Okay,
first?
yes.
That was your first joke, though.
Well, you know what? Let her.
You want to finish
that
your
joke.
second joke?
What do you call a hippie's wife?
Mrs. Hippie? Mississippi.
Jesus Christ!
Is that right?
This is a
Is that right?
dangerous place.
Does that
right?
work?
That is right.
Is it?
It's because he's not drinking.
I
yes.
guessed. I was just.
So why don't ants get COVID?
Yeah, COVID.
This is so easy.
Anti-COVID.
Because they're anti-COVID. Is that true?
No, no,
What?
no. You're close though.
What is it?
Because they're filled with antibodies.
Oh, all right. Oh, that's two snorts? Really? Okay, we'll do it. We'll do it.
She's just she's
Tell
just
us your story.
about.
I don't know what it was about.
Man,
Okay,
they
No, we were going to
okay, I'm
we
going
were
to tell
just-
another story. Then.
You know, Kim's got stories till Wednesday,
I've
so
got
let's do
stories.
it.
I had this was very interesting.
Was I good? Sorry, go on.
I had a guy.
I'm still
Is
like,
that
well, I was
allowed?
supposed to tell
Is
a
that
story.
allowed?
I didn't even know. Yeah.
You were
What
telling
was
a
I?
story about.
We'll get back
going
to it.
overnight.
Remember, I
We
told you how
will.
this works? We go out
Yes,
there.
we
we'll
do.
Come back
Yes, it's round robin
around.
So I
at
was
George's
working
garage.
in ROR, and
This is ROR now?
ROR.
Okay.
Yep. So this was over on Morrissey Boulevard, and a guy started sending me mail. And pretty soon, like the first couple letters were like that he had wrote his own alphabet, and he was just very, very strange. And so he
continued to send me letters. And I was at ROR for maybe 5 years, and I would say in that time he had sent me several hundred letters.
Oof.
And the letters would be maybe 10, 12, 14 pages long.
Handwritten?
Typewritten.
Ooh.
And then he would take and draw, weird little things. And he would listen to what I would say on the air, and then he would turn it into a poem. So it got to the point where I would get a letter about every other day, and I would just throw it in the trash. And then finally I kept a few of them, and I gave them to my PD.
As evidence?
I gave it to my PD, and I said, if anything happens
you really
to me,
did.
here's this guy. I know he's
No,
in
this is
jail
prevalent
here.
though. Unfortunately, it's prevalent in the radio industry.
I said, here's this guy who's in Cedar Junction, and
What's his function?
what's his function? Conjunction, function. What's your junction? No, he was in Cedar Junction.
Constipation, apparently.
Right? So I said, here, take these letters just in case something happens to me. But my boss was like, God, that's really weird. I'm like, I know it. So I left ROR and I went to ZLX. And it was a Monday holiday. So it was either Columbus Day, Memorial Day, Labor Day, and they hadn't locked the doors. And they still had
Really, 7-Eleven?
business day doors set. So someone came in and had won a prize and wanted to pick it up. I had just
You can't do
started there.
that. Yeah, you're going to do that during office hours.
Right? Well, they didn't know, and so they walked in, and I had came
Hey.
into
Hold on a
the
second.
station that
I
day.
don't want to ruin your story. Hold on.
Getting a
Okay.
crasher.
How are you? Good. Nice to see you guys.
That's a nice Boston accent. How are yous?
Hey, how you guys
How
doing?
are yous?
Aye,
How you
oi,
doing?
oi. Oh, there he is. Oh, sorry.
I had came into work that day, and I had been at ZLX for, I don't know, several shifts maybe, say I'd worked there a month, and all of a sudden I come in, and you can make another drink. It's just gin and
Get that
tonic.
soda water.
I
don't wanna
drink.
here.
You went into the drink bag and you don't want to drink?
No, I thought there was like napkins or something. I have
Okay.
Kleenex in my
I
bag.
think I might have some in my pocket.
Goddamn ragweed, I'm telling you.
She's a mom. She's got everything in her
So
pocket.
anyway,
She does. Oh, thank you.
Look at that.
They're clean.
I mean, they're used, but whatever.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
They don't stick
they
together
all
like
clean?
that. I'm telling you.
That might have been
What's that
makeup.
green thing?
Okay. Oh, that's
Oh,
lipstick.
that's definitely. Wow, that was real.
She just gave me
That was
dirty
real.
shit,
Well,
man.
it's all lipstick. You guys kiss each other.
Lipstick on it.
You
All right.
guys
As long as
smooch
they
right now.
weren't dirty wet webs.
So I'm sitting there.
wax. That's redundant.
I find out that when I arrive at work that here's a letter from this same guy, and now he knows I'm at ZLX.
Oh,
and so I was panicked. I was thinking, oh, that's kind of scary. And I had just started my shift, and here's the letter, and I'm thinking, God, this is weird. And what do you know? Someone opens the studio door because this radio station wasn't locked. With him? No, this guy opens the door. He goes, oh, I won this book. And I'm like, completely freaked out. I called the police and I said, listen, here's the scoop. This guy's been sending me letters for 4 or 5 years now. I just throw him away. I know he's in Cedar Junction. Is there anything you can tell me?
Okay, you've already told us like 4 times he's at Cedar Junction. I'm like, did he just show up at the radio station? Sorry.
that?
I said, you've told us 4 times that he's in Cedar Junction. I'm like, oh, was that him just walking into the radio station?
Yeah, you weren't
to pick
listening
up
to
the
my
book?
story. So
I'm still trying to figure out what story I'm supposed to tell.
the cop comes in and says, I tell him what the situation is. I was scared here. This guy's following me now at a different radio station. I know he's in jail. And, basically said, well, there's not much we can do, but, whatever.
Good luck.
Good luck. And then a few days later, this detective called me and said, I just wanted to let you know that you're all set. Meaning what I took, that he was never getting out of prison. He had told me in one of his letters he had been in prison since 1978. So we can assume mass murderer, right? And then shortly
assuming.
after that, a cop reached out to me from Boston Police Department through Instagram and said, just so you know, if there's anything I can do to help you or your family, reach out to me.
What the hell, dude?
I know, right? It was weird. Spooky. Let's have gin.
You can have gin.
That's how this.
Isn't that weird?
It's just we do get it is. I mean, and I got a couple of those people too. Like but it was
Listeners are lonely.
it
They'll
was
write to you.
yeah. Especially doing the overnights, you get a lot of people, and you can play songs that trigger the hell out of people.
Yeah.
Like if I played House of the
Freebird.
Freebird, House of the Rising Sun by the
Yep.
Animals.
Yeah.
That would trigger a lot of Vietnam vets. And a lot of people, they would just want to call and talk.
Yeah.
Yep.
They would want to talk about their fallen brethren. What?
When I was at ZLX, do you remember a guy named Bobby DiMatteo?
No.
Bobby D.
Bobby D.
Nope.
He would call me, and do you know he was so messed up on drugs that this is going to freak you out.
What?
He literally gouged his own eyes out
What?
with a pencil.
Ew.
With a pencil.
Oh, my.
Was it number 2? Was it like one of those miniature golf pencils? Or was
I
it
don't know what kind of
That would
pencil
make
it
sense.
was.
I'm sure.
George. I'm not sure.
Ew.
Isn't that weird? So he was blind, and he would call me every time I was on the air. Bobby DiMatteo. Hi. And
They'll be walk-ons.
so yeah, there's definitely some strange characters that we haven't
Music
encountered
does
in
make
radio.
the world go round. But that's the whole thing about music. I mean, personally, for me, why I got into it. I mean, music can bring about a smile. It can make you run the last 5 miles. It can make you cry. It can make you scream at the top of your lungs. You either turn a song off or you turn it up. That's the cool thing about music. And we are in the business of being intuitive and instinctive to figure out every single place that we go, how we can elevate that mood to its most positive by playing the right music. You know, I could walk into a place at, 6 a.m. I could be exhausted and tired, but knowing that we're doing a charity walk and everybody else is tired too, but you put yourself in the other person's shoes. Maybe somebody lost somebody from this hospital that's putting on this cancer walk, and you want to help lift their spirits, and you want to help do that. And you keep on giving back to other people and showing them what is true and good in this really crazy world. Yeah, 2020 is a year for the
birds.
Thank you. I was just going to use a bad word.
You can. I checked the box.
You do?
Oh, I checked the box.
Okay. No.
I did a gig.
I'd have to wash my mouth out with soap.
You've already sworn. You've already sworn in this episode.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, maybe I will. Not yet, though.
No, not.
It has to be of purpose.
Yes.
Yes, for emphasis. Emphasis.
I hope that the gigs come back for the schools, because one of a big corporate client of mine was MIT.
Oh, yeah.
And so you talked about reading the crowd, and here's a classic example. So for 6 or 7 years, I had done a minority luncheon on graduation day over there, and it was always in
They have something called a minority luncheon?
minority luncheon, and it was at the big.
You have to be under 16.
It's right
Huh?
on.
You have to be under 16. They're minors.
Oh.
What's
I didn't know it was age. I thought they were talking
I'd make
about,
that
what's this? Okay, there's a big.
marginalized groups.
There's a big thingamajig. That's what it was called.
Oh,
And
okay.
it was Hispanic and.
Okay.
I was kidding.
Okay. I thought you. I don't
You
know.
pick now to take me seriously?
Seriously though, but maybe what she was saying was like MIT, and if they had a minority thing, and maybe they were like coaching
And
like
they were 12?
special. I don't know if they were like gifted kids like Doogie Howsers who could go to MIT when they're 13.
How many of those are there?
There could be.
There's 3 of them.
There's you.
Yeah, I'm Doogie Howser.
Okay then. Come on.
Sorry, Kim. I was rude.
We were
So this event that I did for a lot of years, which of course I didn't do this year because no one graduated over there.
Because they're stupid over at MIT.
Yeah. So
Wicked.
all of a sudden I see a lot of black people and a table of women that all had fun hats on. And immediately I start thinking Aretha Franklin, Stevie Wonder,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And let me just tell you, they were dancing around the table. They started this party train, and here,
Uh-oh. Did you just have flashbacks?
Party train. It's a party train.
You guys are evil. Evil.
Yeah. So
Put bleach in my
anyway,
ears after this.
good times.
So
But
as
that's
a
the power of
DJ,
music.
as a DJ, you look at the group. Is what I think your story means. Is that you look at the group and you can get a visualize of your playlist. Is that where you're going?
Yeah, I mean,
It's inspiring.
I think that it definitely can help. Like I said, I just knew that Motown was going to work with that group of people, and it was hugely successful. Sometimes it's not, but I mean, you look at a crowd and you get an idea, and you're like, oh, a lot of times I'll just do the math in my head. Like, okay, they're 29. What were they listening to when they graduated from high school? Boom. Now I know I've looked it up on my phone. I'm playing it.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of
Research.
calculating of numbers to, determine what hits.
I didn't
might
even
have
think
been
about that.
current When,
Yeah.
When
That's
they
why you did
were in
overnights.
School or even going back to the 50s, and I've done parties that they graduated like in the 50s, and do I know that genre that much? No, but I've done enough parties.
You've seen Happy Days. You know the genre.
Absolutely. And now I've been able to put a collection
Doo-wop.
together of all this doo-wop that otherwise...
Denise LaCarubba, I want bam boom.
I knew that was
Full
coming.
circle, Denise.
I knew that was
Full
coming.
circle.
I can die happy now.
Any party that I have, the only song that is mandatory is Johnny Gill's The Floor.
Really?
Absolutely. You cannot go wrong with that. You might have to cue it up because of that weird thing in the beginning, but once you hit the...
I know that song.
Yes, that's a fantastic
And I'm
song.
actually really, wow,
I
George.
love that song.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that song. It is a good song.
It is.
It is.
Do you cue it up or do you let it play?
I would just...
Yeah, just
Because
let
that's
it
a Teddy Riley jam.
Oh, it's a George Noonan
Teddy
jam.
Riley, New Jack Swing, anything in the early 90s.
Take It to
oh
the
my
Bridge.
God, yes. Oh, Teddy was the best. Aaron Hall and Teddy Riley. Okay, here's another story talking about New Jack Swing. When I was a senior in high school, was it before? No, was I senior or junior? It was junior
I'm not
year.
gonna fact check.
It was the summer year before senior year. So this was summer of 1990.
Okay.
Summer of 1990. Still a cheerleader because we were practicing in the at the high school.
Hold on, Kim, you good? What do you
field.
need?
I'm good.
She went here. I'll hold this for
you want me
you.
to
She
hold the
wants
mic?
to make a drink. I'm just gonna use two. I have two microphones.
Oh, boy.
That's usually what ice does when it's in
yeah,
a paper
it's
bag.
been known to do that. That's
It's
okay.
not in. There's plenty of ice,
Not
Kim.
leaking. We got a knee injury or something?
What are you doing?
No, I'm just going to pour the water out. Of
Okay,
this.
I'm gonna hold your microphone and talk about my story in the 1990s. So I had a bunch of cheerleaders over my house, and we were around my pool.
I once had
And
a bunch of
because-
cheerleaders in my house.
You did.
No, I
Yet
wish.
another thing
I
that we
wish.
have in
I
common.
wish.
I wasn't at your house for that party where the porn film was shown. Though
You
I
did listen to
can't.
the
I heard
episode.
about that
That
story.
was not my doing, by the way.
I was not there. Of course not.
It wasn't.
And denial is not a river in Egypt
It
either.
is, actually.
Mm-hmm. So I had on Kiss 108 because Kiss 108 was playing the jams back then.
Yes, ma'am.
And the Humpty Dance comes on by Digital Underground. Yes. So, of course, now being back then, I was a little thicker than I am. A little thicker then than I am now. And so I was the base of the cheerleaders. And I had all the cute little, 20-pound cheerleaders over my house and the cute little outfits.
Kim is just going to work over here.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, sweetheart. And I proceeded to dislocate my knee in front of the cheerleading
On
girls.
purpose?
No, not on purpose. Do you decide to dislocate your knee? No, I love
How can I-
conflicting pain onto my own person just to show other people that I can feel pain.
Yes.
I dislocated my knee in front of everybody. I was doing the Humpty Dance.
Because
I went down. I was doing the Humpty Dance. And I
Well,
dislocated
there's
my
your
knee.
chance to do the
they were
hump, and you
laughing
took
their
it.
asses off. I remember. Oh my God. I do remember Dawn Lane and Patty Mahoney looking at me and laughing because I was kind of laughing too at the same time, but I was in a lot of pain.
Let's talk about attention, right? Look at that. Give me both mics.
Right, she needs both.
Screw you, Kim.
That's right.
She was too busy. You were more concerned about making yourself a drink than being a part of this podcast.
Because I think I've got to jet
gotta
out
go?
of here.
Kim, before you go, you have to do this, okay? Because you do. No.
Okay.
I'd love to know that though.
God, no. I do love your radio voice. So what I would like to do, you know this because you've been on my page, so I do a little promo and I put out a visual sound bite.
Sexy promo.
It can be whatever you want, but you have to do it for because this is gonna be.
Okay.
This is gonna come out
Shit. Give me my
Okay.
phone. Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
We need.
because this is gonna come out a week from Monday.
Okay.
Actually Sunday night, but Monday.
Okay, what do you want me to say?
And on Monday, I'm going to put out a visual. I might even do
Yeah.
it now because after
Yeah.
I do this,
You're gonna
because
take a picture of
Yeah.
us too, right?
yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
I want to. It's like what's
It's a promo.
Yeah, all right, it's a promo basically. It's a lot of words for nothing to come out, but so this is what I want to use. It'll be
Yeah.
the first time someone
Yeah.
else has done it besides me.
Absolutely. It's
so I
called
want
imaging.
I want you to do
Yeah.
the promo. It can be 30 seconds. It can be less. It can be whatever
Yeah.
you want it to be. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just about you guys being on my show. Chat, use the names, whatever. Whatever you feel.
I'm supposed to say that now?
Yeah. Just get this out of the way. So that way when you do leave, I won't be like, Kim, come back. I probably will
Okay,
anyways,
but wait a sec. What in your show is Chatting with George Noonan?
Wow. Is that a question or a statement? Because
Okay.
look at this.
I was trying to find
funny.
some stripper music for you to say that behind. So.
Okay,
Burm, burm,
so
burm.
Two Chicks Chatting with George Noonan
Chattin. That's your show, right?
No,
Chattin' with George Noonan.
Yeah,
Chattin' with George.
The show is Chattin' with George Noonan. Yeah, so just whatever you can say, whatever you want. It's just you're basically cutting a promo for your show on my show.
Hey everyone, it's Kim Collins along with DJ Deja. Of course, you know Two Chicks Chattin', and who better to be chatting with than George Noonan right here. George Noonan chats.
That was awesome. Thank you. And that's what's going to be. That's going to be the clip.
Is it?
Yeah.
I love it. I have to go to Marshfield, and I can't drink anymore because I haven't eaten. And we're still.
I'm just holding this so while you, because you know you have to
a
leave.
Sandwich.
No.
No, if you have to go, you have to go. I appreciate it.
I have to go to Marshfield and take care of some business there. Is this stripper music?
It kind of was, but I won't play it now anymore.
All right.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have the visual, is it the same if I take my clothes off right here? It's not really.
You'd get George's reaction and my reaction.
do you
He
want
would
me to
be
answer this, or do
horrified.
you
want- Yeah.
He would be horrified. He'd say, "Ooh, mama
You're a big.
three."
You're
Wow.
Okay, listen, you guys. I love both of you. You're going to continue to chat here.
just for a little while longer.
Yeah, that's
I'm
fine.
going to
just
do it
realized
because
it was 5. I'm like, holy
you
shit.
got all these Stonamites that I don't really know, and I feel a little
that
bit
a word?
left out.
It is.
But
Stonamite?
whatever.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stonamites?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, girl. Thank you.
We'll chat.
Yeah,
will.
I'll take the mic because
Yes.
I can't shut off because I have you two hooked up.
You do.
Yeah.
Okay. George, thank you for having
Thank
us.
you, Kim.
Yeah. Two Chicks Chatting here with George Noonan. We love it. We're thrilled to be here. And if you need two great chicks who know how to entertain and
Tell them how they can find us online.
oh, okay,
That might help.
So, and I'm so excited because
You
my
can
new
ask for me.
website-
Ask for us by name from
Yeah.
George. Actually,
Yes. Kim Collins.
you want.
We'll
and
throw some money
DJ
away.
Deja.
my name.
Oh, there it is. There's the stripper music.
Uh-oh.
Really?
My cue to leave.
I feel like getting naked right now for some reason.
Yeah. Actually, the weekend is
Thank
actually
you,
pretty
Kim.
good. Okay.
All right, George. Look, cutting board and knife right here.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much.
You really did
Right here.
everything.
Okay.
Yes.
Right here.
Yes, perfect.
Okay. This is you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bring it home. I love you.
Mwah. Love you. Hey, George. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
It's funny because when we came out of, I met her and we walked over here and she's like, "Oh, this is it." I'm like, "Yeah, it's a garage." She's like, I didn't tell her. I forgot. I told you.
Yeah.
I didn't tell Kim though. And she's like, "Great." She instantly loved it, but it was just funny.
She has so much more experience with like emceeing and being in a radio environment than I do.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I actually didn't know. I knew you were. I didn't know you did overnights. I knew that you were in the business. I didn't know to the extent of it. But what was it like doing overnights?
Overnights was an interesting. Oh my goodness. Well, I think I probably did a lot of the overnights because I was conveniently.
I hear that.
3-minute drive. Oh, I'm sorry. A 3 per. I was conveniently a 3-minute drive away from the station, so I filled in for nights, weekends. I did Christmas mornings. I did all these times that no one else wanted the gigs. Overnights were a little awkward. Not only doing midnight to 6 or midnight to 7, it messes with your sleep. Because you're such a day, if you're a day person, and then you have to sleep until, like, I could technically sleep until like 11:15 and still get to the radio station on time and pull my transmission logs and get everything done. But on the overnights, you're not really doing. You get a lot of calls when the bars are still open.
Oh, really?
So I would say, call me from the back of the bar, call me from the back of the cop car.
Hi,
Bye. Call me from the back of the cop car. Just call me. I actually had a bit when I was on ZLX. It was called In the Hot Tub with Deja.
Whoa.
And what I did, it was a really clever way of
College
getting people
themed?
to call. A bit. Well, there are some older people, I would hope, that have hot tubs too.
They know.
But it was a bit to try to get people to call in. So I would, because on the overnights, everything was already predetermined for what you'd have to play. You could
So why were you there?
loan up human touch, I suppose, if something goes wrong. You had
Like Springsteen's A Human Touch?
yes. You had to load everything in. You had a log that told you exactly what had to be played at what time. You could choose what PSAs, public service announcements, to play for radio commercial spots. And you also had time towards the end of the hour to take one caller request, but you had to check a logbook to make sure that it was approved, because there were songs that were not approved by CBS Radio.
Mostly by Two Live Crew.
Right? Well, that's not really a classic rock song. Yeah. No, but like songs like, I remember one, I don't know why, but one of the Shaken by Eddie Money. That was on the, I don't know, I never asked.
I love that song.
I know. I don't know. There was something about it. You had to make sure that it was not played 24 hours before that time and 24 hours after that time.
How could you prove that?
By looking at the log. That's
why
why
I thought you
everything
meant by
was
the
log.
time you played it 24 hours. Oh, I see.
Well, yeah, you could see in the log if it was coming up or if it was there.
Oh, that's
You'd
right,
have-
because you had the future ahead of you because you saw.
You know what time a song was supposed to be played. So there was, because everything was like heavy rotation, medium rotation, light rotation. But on the
A
overnights,
hot rotation, a winning combination. Sorry, that's
we could rhyme all day.
It's Run DMC.
The overnights were good because you could play, 21-minute B versions.
Yeah.
Like or
You drop a deuce, you put on a
that
Led
too.
Zeppelin song.
Yeah, or go outside for a smoke or something.
Whatever.
Yeah, pretty much. Get the pizza delivery. Yeah. Well, it was quiet up until about 3:30, 3:45, because that's when the morning show guys would come in. So Carson and Mackenzie would come in and they would have their coffee. A lot of times they would come in early and they would just be pulling straight off of the news feeds what was happening. So they would have, as soon as they went right up at 5:30 and you had your alarm go off and you hear their voices, you're hearing fresh what is happening overnight.
Yeah.
So they have everything there. They're not waiting to, of course they're combing the papers and of course they're doing that. But if something did happen overnight, like say, not to use an example, but Trump coming on at 1 a.m. saying he's got COVID, and then like everybody that's on the air at 5:30 is starting to talk about it because it's overnight news.
But you couldn't talk about that if it broke at 1:30?
No. I suppose I could. But they like the overnights to be more music and less talk.
Oh.
So I would get, and this goes back to the hot tub with Deja thing, I only had so many times that I could speak during an hour. Oh. So you could say, listening to Carson McKenzie, they're giving you $1,000 a day starting Monday mornings. Here's Led Zeppelin on ZLX.
And those 6 seconds counts as 6 seconds of your allotted 30, so to speak.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah. They didn't like you to talk too much.
Really fast sometimes? I like it 2 seconds, Michael.
Yeah. Because you got, it's almost like in Congress, you've got 60 seconds to rebuke. You got to make that 60 seconds count.
Right.
When do you think AOC starts speaking fast? Because you have that 60 seconds to rebuke, and in your whole life about what you're trying to get for policy, you got 60 seconds.
Looking at the clock. Mm-hmm. Is anything weird? Like Kim told not a great for her, but a great story about a somewhat stalker. What do you have? Hot Tub with Deja, that sends people, sends a message.
I had,
So you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah. So my thing was when I worked in a bunch of nightclubs around Boston, and I had the privilege and opportunity of traveling in different places. Like I did work in Miami and New York, and I had a corporate client who would fly me out to where they were trademark attorneys, and they were based in Minnesota, and they would fly me out to all these different places that they would have their national sales party, and the night before their big party, I would have like a cocktail party for them. It really wasn't a cocktail party; it was more an all-out bash, really. Sure. But I would have the opportunity to fly around places with some type of being anonymous, almost, and especially traveling by yourself, you have to be protected. So when I worked in the nightclubs, I had my handle, and I got the Deja handle. I got that at Bridgewater State College, actually, in 1991. It was because I was always in the radio station, WBIM 91.5, Bridgewater State. Most of my listeners were from the prison.
They count.
They did. No, but it's like they'd be calling. It would be like, September 17th that they'd be calling in and be like, I'd love to make a dedication to my girlfriend, Jennifer, and let her know I can't wait until May 16th. I'm like, oh, is that your anniversary?
Somewhat,
yeah. But having the pen, nom de plume, I got the name Deja because I was always at the station, and people would be like, "Oh, you're back here again." I lived off the syllabus, I knew that was what, because going into it at Stoneham High, I had always taken marine biology courses. I thought I was going to be a marine biologist.
Is that right?
Yes. I took all the Mr. Mayo's biology courses. I took every single science course and biology course I could because I wanted to be a marine biologist. I thought that my game plan was going to be to go to Roger Williams and then go to Woods, study down at Woods Hole and end up someplace, off a coral reef down in the islands. And then I think when I was a senior And that's when Mr. Carino was DJing all the parties, and he had
Mr. O'Loughlin was the DJ too.
Yep, Mr. O'Loughlin was. Yep, and there was actually. So you were 89, and he was 90. Stephen Burdick was who I learned how to DJ from, and he was DJing the class parties. And the biggest thing that I picked up.
I thought I was in the same grade as Stephen Burdick.
No, I thought he was 90. He was 89.
Yeah, I think so. I think
I'm having a senior moment.
Unless he stayed
Maybe
back.
He was. I don't remember.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Again, no fact.
But he was he was a instrumental person in me changing my career trajectory from thinking I was going to be
instrumental in making you a DJ.
Oh, I'm here all week trying chicken.
That's a fist bump.
That was good. That's a fist bump. Ooh, that's good. That is good.
So without Stephen Burdick, we're not sitting here in my garage right
That's
now.
correct. Yeah.
Wow. So where did you take it after that?
I went to Bridgewater State with a full workload of communication classes, radio and TV minor, living at the radio station, and going from being an honor student to be put on AP.
Wow. Oh, because
I never went to school. No, I always wanted to do everything about music and learned. Yeah.
So you were interning for 4 years.
I guess you could call it that.
I did.
Yeah. So when after freshman year at Bridgewater, I wanted to go to Emerson to study, and I ended up just taking time off and jumping right into the industry. I started working for a couple of mobile firms and just trying to intern with that. I started DJing around Faneuil Hall. I think my first bar gig was the Hong Kong.
Ooh.
And then Sissy K's.
Did you get free meat on a stick?
Yes, I did. Yes, and that's what we will call it, is meat on a stick. Yeah, we will continue to call it meat on a stick.
Well,
yes, this was when you had to give $5 to get the scorpion bowls.
We use the term loosely, but yes.
Yes. Mystery meat on a stick didn't matter.
It was so good,
throw some soy sauce on that.
And
shit.
I was sober and I liked it. So what does that say?
Everybody was eating that shit at 1:30 in the morning.
Right?
Are you kidding me? If you couldn't wait in line for the sausage guy at Faneuil Hall, right around the corner from the Black Rose,
you had two options.
You were going to the Hong Kong.
Meat on a stick or the sausage guy.
So between the Hong Kong, Sissy K's, and Faneuil, and Houlihan's.
Oh.
Houlihan's on Sunday night was the shit.
I loved Houlihan's.
That was yep. Jammin' 94.5. It was Service Industry on Sunday night, hip hop night. Hip hop night.
No kidding.
Yep, yours truly. Nice little white girl throwing down hip hop night at Sunday nights. Yep.
Johnny Gill the Floor? Wasn't even out yet.
I'm going to have that song. I'm going to have to play that on my Spotify. We're going to play that on the way out. That was a great song. It is a great song. So I always use Deja. I never use my real name to protect myself, because sometimes, and going back to Kim's story, if you had either a stalker or something, if I was working in a nightclub and someone would be like, is Deja here? Is Deja here? And they're like, who you? And they're like, oh, I'm her friend or something. Oh, well, if you're her friend, what's her real name?
Smart.
Yeah. No one ever, So I got protected that way.
Why did you pick that for a reason?
It was picked for me.
Kim
Deja Vu? Oh, no, well, she's, I think.
Is that what it is? Deja Vu?
No, actually, I can't say that. Deja Vu is actually a woman in Atlanta who owns the copyright of the name, which I've always tried to get.
You're not Deja. You are Deja.
I am DJ Deja.
But that's what it originated from, Deja Vu.
Yes.
You couldn't have Deja Vu. You're Deja.
Correct. Okay. So it came from being in the college station, like, oh, Deja Vu, you're here again. Because I was always there. So it stuck with me. And after I dropped out of college and started to intern with some mobile firms and started working all the clubs, I just picked up on the name and it kept with me. And then she was talking about the Rack. I DJ'd at the Rack for a really long time. I DJ'd at the Rack on New Year's Eve of the millennium.
How was that?
Not as chaotic as you would think.
Because nobody cared if the lights went out.
No, not really. I didn't think so. Of course, everybody was like, oh, this whole, 2000 thing. But
yeah.
No, I remember
Wasn't that great, though? I'm sorry, I interrupted.
No, it was. It was weird.
It was funny because everyone thought the world was going to end just because they thought their electronics weren't going to transform from 1999 to 2000. Mm-hmm. That's what it was all based on. Mm-hmm. Like, that's insane.
Yeah. I wish I could remember, like, the music. Actually, I do remember there was a Mariah Carey song. It was like Auld Lang Syne house remix with Mariah Carey. That was the song I played. That's what I remember. But yeah, those were good times. Being at the Rack was a good time. But yeah, I DJ'd all around Faneuil Hall. I DJ'd on Lansdowne Street. I had a good run from like, oh my God, 92 to 2008. Wow. Was all club work.
No kidding.
And then I left the clubs in 2008. So the last nightclub I worked was Saint, which is now called Storyville. It's on Exeter Street. It's the end of Exeter Street. But I haven't worked nightclubs. If I work a nightclub now, it'll be like a buyout. So if there's someone who'll have a nightclub and they'll have a private event, it'll be a buyout. But I've been very blessed to work some pretty cool gigs. And I worked the conventions when those happened. When the DNC in Boston was 2004.
Run DNC?
Democratic National Convention. Although I did meet Darryl McDaniel because I did do a private event once at Island Creek Oyster Bar, and he did a private show. So I was DJing there, and
Was he a private dancer?
No, but he's just cool Modi.
Yeah, I bet
he's just so cool and slick and
You
just.
can't call a guy from Run DMC cool Modi, by the way. That doesn't work.
No, he's just a cool dude.
I know what you mean. He does.
I know.
I love Run DMC.
He's very cool, and he's also. I mean, he's just a very cool individual, very interesting individual, and you get to talking to him and just get caught up in just talking to him. He's a really cool dude. So I've had I've had a nice run, but since then I've kind of changed my repertoire to doing weddings, the things that really I find personal purpose with weddings, which are so fragile. Like when you're a DJ, once you press play, you can't stop. It has to be perfect. And if it's too loud, you lose people. If it's explicit, you lose people. Or if it's just not the right song at the right time, you lose people. And when you're at a wedding, you've made a huge investment. You've maybe gotten a new suit, or you've got a hotel room, or you had to pay for the sitter, you had to travel, you had to get a gift. Yes, those are expensive.
Tell me about it.
They are.
Imagine if I had to pay for more, 50% more of these things. Are you kidding me?
Damn, I'm telling you, why can't you just go in a Patriots hoodie? You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't it be great?
It would be awesome.
Wear your favorite Boston team and come to our wedding.
Even if you're in Oregon.
Yes, even in Oregon. Just wear pasties.
That's right.
We'll know your allegiance. But those are the type of events that truly bring me purpose, because I know my purpose is to bring light and love through music.
Wow.
That's just, it's a shitty world we live in, and especially when you come to a wedding, or if it can be expensive. It can be, you had to take time off of work or spend a lot of money, or get a sitter or something, and people could be fighting. There could be infighting in families. But if you think about it, when that day comes, everybody is ideally on their best behavior. And even though
the gin and tonic start flowing.
Right?
Kim.
until the bar opens. And there's a lot of pissed off people until that bar opens, because they're there early.
Right.
The people that skip out of the church, they're like, I just want the bar. Nope, the bar opens in an hour. Go to McDonald's if you have to.
Do you kiss her? The old Spaceball special.
Yeah. Do you, you're done, go. That's a true party these days. Those are the 2020 weddings. Do you, okay, you're done,
I'm
go.
waiting for Zoom weddings.
There have been Zoom weddings.
They really are?
Yes. Well, actually, my dear friend Shira's daughter, Shoshi, she and Matt.
Are you selling seashells by the seashore hole?
Yes.
Say that again.
Shira.
Shira? Like from
Shira's
He-Man?
daughter, Shoshi.
Good Lord.
Her full name is Shoshana.
Oh, God. Okay.
She had Shoshana.
Yeah, see,
you did this to me.
Well, you
did
did
this
it to yourself, really. I didn't tell you. You started a story.
I did.
Yeah, pork chops and apple sauce.
Her wedding was May 15th, Mother's Day. May 10th, Mother's Day. Supposed to be Mother's Day. And she wanted to have a very large wedding, and she was going to have it at, I think, Carrington Farm. And they closed it down for her. So she ended up, they said, you're not having a wedding on our property. So she ended up making a YouTube channel and live streaming a 22-minute ceremony in her backyard. Her uncle, I think it was her uncle or a friend of the family, got officiated for the day, and they got married, and they streamed it live on a YouTube channel.
Are you serious?
23 minutes.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
23 minutes, too. That's quick.
No commercials. You're done, yeah. And they did it in their pajamas, too.
Well,
it's pretty cool, pajama wedding.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, pajama jammy jam.
Ooh, see? The Pajama Jammy Jam. House Party 7, I think we're on right now. This is good.
Pajama Jammy Jam.
This is good. I do want to ask you, because Kim never got alluded to it. I meant to get to it. I wanted to get to her officiating. I wanted to get to a couple of things, but I didn't want to.
Yeah, she's phenomenal. I do have to, I can't give her enough about that, the fact that she does that. And I sell that to a lot of people, too. I said, I am a DJ, but if you need someone to marry you and then get you like you need a dry cleaning, go with Kim.
Kim's 2 for 1.
She is a 2 for 1. Yeah,
but now,
she really does.
But how long, where did you, we covered how you met and you, the old, two chicks dishing. Sorry, that was not on purpose. Yeah, I know that was to be. It was two chicks dishing to two chicks chatting. What do you?
Just call us two broads.
Two broads bitching.
Yeah.
But I've watched a couple. I have the ones when you're on the side of the road and you're sitting at the table. I love those. Those are great.
Very spontaneous.
But like, what made you decide to do that?
It was her brainchild, and I'm just the wet nurse.
So it really was that simple.
It really was that simple. We had.
I thought there was more to it. That's why I asked.
No, it really was that spontaneous and organic, where we had went to Not Your Average Joe's in Peabody, and I think were only open for maybe 2 or 3 months. And this was in March, I want to say, maybe like the first week in March, because I think everything started shutting down maybe the second week of March.
Yeah.
And we just got to talking, and we were just, I think, just with the enthusiasm that we had about, this is March and spring's coming and our upcoming wedding season's coming, but there's a little bit of, there's kind of a little bit going on outside. I wonder wonder what's going to happen. And I said, well, why don't we just start talking about this and just throw live? And that's what we did. Was we just went Facebook Live on that day, and we didn't have a tripod or anything. We sat right across from one another at a booth. It was pretty empty at the restaurant, so we didn't have to worry about any background noise or chatter or anybody coming to, interrupt us. But, of course, every time the waitress came and gave us new drinks, we were like, would you like to sit down with us? And then the GM came over after and said, we noticed what you were doing. You guys were having a good time. I said, yeah, we're just two chicks dishing. Yeah. At the time. No, it was. But we were, and I was keeping my fingers crossed because we made a great rapport with the GM. And I said, would you be amenable to us maybe coming back and doing this again? And I started thinking, wow, we could think of like a QR code or a special deal, like, say that you heard this from Two Chicks Chat and get 10% off your meal or something, like try to work some type of corporate gig. But then, all hell broke loose. So it just kind of went away. So since then, we have been going to places that do need support, small businesses. Kim attributed to a few of the restaurants that we've gone to that are, locally owned, mom and pop owned, female owned, and giving them a little bit of our business and just being like, hey, we're here, come on down. And, seeing a lot of people live watching us is pretty cool. She also did recently an event at the Black Box, which is in Peabody, and it's just it's a gorgeous freestanding event space. And she set up her speakers and her equipment on the stairs, just right on the stairs, and started playing out to the street. It's literally like playing. So in Stone, it's like playing like on town hall steps.
That's fun.
And everybody's just driving around, and I was just dancing.
Now, did you play Black Box at the Black Box? That would have been amazing. See, that's a wasted opportunity.
We did play Marky Mark, though.
Well, all right. Well, we'll give you that.
We did play Marky Mark. We did. It's that 90s music. But see, that's, and I think it's almost like, chocolate, not to go Forrest Gump, but.
But you're going to go Forrest Gump.
No. I'll make a bad Jenny joke right now, Jenny. It's just all these people. It's just lovely. They're just walking by and be like, hey.
Well, I was thinking when you were telling your story about how, there wasn't too many people. Like, this is what I love about this. Like, people walk by, would woman. You heard, you didn't hear the but first. On the one with Bonnie and Krista, a woman came in, and I'd seen this woman 1,000 times. I talked to her, she's a talker. She came in, and she was here for like 10 minutes. And just
talking
with her, it was just funny. It ended up being one of the best parts of the show because it was like you can't set that up. No, like you're Frankenstein. You can't set it up.
No, that was awesome.
And the train goes by, and it's just people. Like I get a lot of people that say, "I love hearing the train," and it happens. Every episode it happens at least once. The one with Krista and Dawn, that was in a hotel in Woburn. That's why you didn't hear the train. That was inside because I was up to Stoneham for the week. And but yeah, no, it's just it's what it is. I'm not a professional by any means.
And that's what kind of makes us, we're a little bit different, is that we go into these events structured. We have a game plan as to what we'd like to talk about and the points that we'd like to target, and knowing that if you have anybody that's watching you, you want to get them in the first 5 minutes. If they're on for even 10 minutes, they're pretty much locked in. So we try to only keep them maybe, I think, 20 minutes long, not really that long. We've done ones that are hours. We've done ones that are half hour, and we see people kind of drop off after a certain time.
Yeah, it's quick.
I guess I got to rack up the things to, I don't know. What do I do? Flash them? Did you do that? Yeah, hey. You want to see all my tattoos, everybody? So.
How many do you have?
31.
What are you, Baskin Robbins? You have 31 tattoos?
I do.
Really? Now, when did you start? You are wearing pants on a somewhat long.
The first one was on my butt, and I was probably 18. Yeah, I was digging for gold, and it was when it was illegal in Massachusetts. We had to go right up the border.
Back in the old days.
Yes, and
we got to go to New Hampshire for our tattoos.
Brenda's father. Who's that girl? Brenda
Nacella.
Yes. Her father owned a place.
You only said sure father because you're still doing the SHs. You got to cleanse your palate because you went sure father.
Are you kidding me? My accent's
I'm
coming out.
I'm teasing.
I'm pretty sure Brendan Nasella's dad.
Yeah,
had the
yeah.
place. Okay,
No,
yeah.
it is. It's him.
Right at Seabrook, New Hampshire. That was the place I went. It wasn't him, but I remember it was Big Jim. Big Jim saw my big butt that day. He was digging for gold.
Now, what's that like? Because I don't
first
have any
tattoo.
tattoos.
Oh, God bless you.
But I mean, like if I see people like you just said you have one on your butt. Now you just met this guy a minute ago, and he's like, all right, well.
Now we're best
Take
friends
off
for
your
the
pants.
next year, pretty much.
Do you lose it quick? Your inhibitions right there? Is it just gone? Like what? I got to do it.
Well, that was my first one, and I think I was 17 at the time.
So you went for the home run right away. Let's get
Yeah.
this. You could have just said, "Oh, how about the wrist?"
Yeah. But being a DJ too, all of mine are hidden. Like you can't see any of mine.
That's what I was alluding to. I was like, "Well, you have pants
Yeah.
on. I can't see a tattoo. I would never know."
Well, remember one thing. I started 30 years ago in this industry, and back then people were a lot. I think people now are a lot more accepting of body art. And I'm not saying that
now it's crazy now. Everyone has one.
Yeah, everybody does.
I'm in the minority.
But back then, like if I'm DJing at the Ritz,
Oh,
they're gonna, and
that's
I'm there to do a job. I'm there to make people happy. I'm not there to be judged. And all you need, and me being Sicilian, I would probably mouth off at someone who just wants to just look me up and down like, oh, she's got tattoo. Well, bite me.
Well, maybe she's saying, "Hey, baby, bring that funky butt over here."
No, they never did. But
Because you scared them away with your Sicilian snarl.
Yeah, very good, very good. But this was when I was first getting into it, and I was really drilling down and being very serious. So in my expression of my personality, it pretty much started bra strap down. So everything is all bra strap down, and I do have some on my ankles, just little ones right here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Most of them are kanji, so most of them.
And they're all coverable if you feel the need to.
Yes, I don't have any men's names. I don't. I haven't had to cross it out and put a name underneath
Denise,
it.
Dennis, that's kind of a man's name.
I never dated any Dennises. I never did. And how many? Growing up, I got Denise Denos. Or hi, where's Dennis? Or Denise Denos from Venus.
Nice.
Oh, all the good things. Being tortured as a child. Yeah. No wonder why I use Deja.
See, I would be deja vu as well.
Yeah.
Do you plan on getting any more? Are you done at 31?
No, I actually am getting a couple more. I think the next one is going to be discipline. I just have to find it in a different language.
Which language is your choice? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I have all different ones. I have an Italian slogan going down my side that roughly translates to everything I need, I already have.
I love you say roughly because really, you don't really know, do you? No regrets.
Well, no regrets. Is that how you spell it? And here we go with the true story where you're saying no regrets, or they spell it wrong or spell it backwards.
Regrets. That's what it is.
So these two that I have two Chinese symbols that are above my left ankle that I'm showing you.
Rangoon, by the way.
All you can eat at China Moon for $14.95 Monday through Friday.
You're right. I had it backwards.
Get one.
BOGO.
Cream of some young guy. Yeah, get one. Yeah, exactly. BOGO.